Hi everyone. So in this video we're going to discuss about the IPMAT 2022 Quants question. So we have already uploaded the video for 2023, 2024 and 2025. So all these 3 years have been uploaded. I'll suggest you to check out these videos. We have provided a detailed solution for each quants question in each of the paper. And I think that will really help you a lot because certain approaches are being discussed in the question which might not strike you in the exam, but if you are aware about it, then definitely it is going to help. So for 2023, 2024, 2025, it is already done. We are starting with 2022 now. Before that, I just want you to know about the IP, like Kraku is providing free IPMAT mocks. Free IPMAT mocks are being provided by Kraku. These are created on the basis of last 5 to 6 year IPMAT papers. IPMAT actual papers we have considered of last 5 to 6 years, and we have made questions on the basis of that. So I think do check out these mocks. These mocks are really going to help you a lot. This is something which is very beneficial for every aspirant who is appearing for IPMAT, because the best way to assess your position in an exam is something where you check your scores in your mocks and how well are you performing in the mock. So if you do check out these mocks, you can just directly search Kraku IPMAT mock test and you'll be redirected to the website. Apart from this, we are also providing mocks for IPMAT, and we have IIM Rohtak as well. And then we have BMS, which is recently started by IMK. We have already provided a lot of mocks for IMB UG test, and we were successful in providing the resources for IMB UG. All of this is, again, I'll say free of cost. It is available free of cost for it, and there's no cost which is being charged for it. So do check out all the mocks: IPMAT, IIM Rohtak, and then BMS by IMK, then Christ University mock, and all the undergraduate examinations which is providing BBA or related to this courses. We have provided mocks for all the entrance examinations, and they are there for free of cost. So do check out these mocks. This is going to be very beneficial for you, and this is going to help you a lot. Apart from this, we will be uploading the questions from IPMAT previous year question papers as well. 25 is, I think, already uploaded. 24 will be uploaded soon, and then we'll provide you with more. So do check out these videos. IPMAT the last 3 years and IPMAT the last 2 years is already done. We are starting with 22 IPMAT today. So let's discuss the questions now. The first question is saying the sum of the coefficients of all the terms in the expansion of 5x minus 9 to the whole power 4. So we have to find out the sum of all the coefficients in the expansion of 5x minus 9 to the whole power 4. Now one way is basically writing all the terms, which is 4c0 into 5x to the whole power 4, then 4c1 into 5x ka whole cube into minus 9, then we have plus 4c2 into 5x ka whole square into minus 9 ka whole square, then we have plus 4c3 into 5x into minus 9 ka whole cube, and then we have 4c4 into minus 9 to the whole power 4. Now you can calculate all these values. You can consider the negative ones, subtract the negative ones, and add the positive ones, and you can get the result. There is this one way which is a bit calculation heavy for this. Now there's one trick for this as well. You can get the answer with this. You can just ignore all the x terms, and whatever the coefficient of x to the power 4, x to the power 3, x to the power 2, x to the power 1 and x to the power 0 is, just add all of them and you'll get the answer. But there's one more easier way. Now if I ask what is the expansion of ax plus b to the whole power n, it is basically nc0 ax to the power n plus nc1 ax to the whole power n minus 1 into b plus nc2 ax to the whole power n minus 2 into b square, and plus this goes forever. Now if I just let's say I'll simplify this will be nc0 into a to the power n x to the power n plus nc1 into a to the power n minus 1 into b into x to the power n minus 1 plus nc2 a to the power n minus 2 b square into x to the power n minus 2, and this goes now this is ax plus b to the whole power n. Now if I put x is equal to 1, what will happen? This will become a plus b to the whole power n is equal to nc0 into a to the power n. Now x to the power n will be removed, plus nc1 into a to the power n minus 1 into b. Again, this x to the power n minus 1 we can ignore because ultimately x is 1, so 1 to the power n minus 1 will be 1. Then we have nc2 into a to the power n minus 2 into b square. Again, this will be removed as well. And with all the terms coming forward, you will see that the powers, the terms, that is only the coefficients of x is there, because certainly we have put x is equal to 1. So there are no such x's which are left, and we have the coefficients of each x power. So for x to the power n, the coefficient was nc0 into an. Then for x to the power n minus 1, the coefficient was nc1 into an minus 1 into b. Then coefficient for x to the power 2 is nc2 an minus a to the power n minus 2 into b square. Then similarly for x to the power n minus 3, again putting x is equal to 1, x term will be eliminated, but what we'll left with is basically the coefficient of x to the power n minus 3, which is nc3 into a to the power n minus 3 into b cube. So I can say if I have to find out sum of coefficients of all the terms in ax plus b to the whole power n, basically what I have to do is I have to put the value of x is equal to 1, because this is going to provide me sum of the coefficients of all the terms in ax plus b to the whole power n. You can clearly see in this one, this is basically the sum of all the terms in coefficient of ax plus b to the whole power n. If we put x is equal to 1, we have 5x minus 9 to the whole power 4. So 5x minus 9 to the whole power 4. And we have to find out the sum of all coefficients. So sum of all coefficients will be what we have to do, we have to put x is equal to 1. So this will be equal to 5 into 1 minus 9 to the whole power 4. Now 5 minus 9 is minus 4, so minus 4 to the whole power 4, and minus 4 minus 1 minus 4 to the whole power 4, it will ultimately be a positive term, and 4 to the power 4 will be 4 square is 16 and 16 square is 256. So this will be 256. The sum of coefficients of all the terms in 5x minus 9 to the whole power 4 will be 256, and therefore I can say the correct answer will be 256. Next question is saying if a is equals to 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0, then the absolute value of determinant of a to the power 9 plus a to the power 6 plus a to the power 3 plus a is. So we have a is equal to 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0. When we find out the a square first, so a square will be 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0 multiplied by 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0. So this will be 1 0 0 into 1 0 0, this will be 1, then 1 0 0 0 0 1 is 0, then we have 1 0 0 0 1 0 is again 0, then we have 0 0 1 and 1 0 0, this is 0 again, then 0 0 1 0 0 1 is 1, and 0 0 1 and 0 1 0 is again 0, then 0 1 and 0 is again 0, then 0 1 and 0 is again 0, and 0 1 0 into 0 1 0 is 1. So basically a square is 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. This is basically the identity matrix. So I can write a square will be an identity matrix. Now what will be a cube? So a cube will be a square into a. What is a square? A square is I, so I into a, and any matrix multiplied by the identity matrix will be the original matrix only. So I can write a cube will be equal to a only. Similarly, a to the power 4 will be what? A square into a square. So this will be I into I, which is equal to I square, and I square is always equal to I only. So a to the power 4 is equal to I. So certainly what I can say is if a is to the power even, we'll get the matrix as I, which is the identity matrix I3, because this is a 3 cross 3 matrix, so I3. And if a is to the power odd, if the power of odd is a, we are getting the same matrix A. We have to find out the absolute value of the determinant of a9 plus a6 plus a cube plus a. So first we need to find out the value of a to the power 9 plus a6 plus a cube plus a. So a to the power 9 is basically a only. Then a to the power 6 is even, so this is identity matrix. Then a cube is again odd, so a, and a is again a only. So this will be equal to 3a plus I. And thus we need to find out the determinant of 3a plus I. So determinant of 3a plus I will be equal to 3a's, a is 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0. This is 1 0 0 0 0 1 and 0 1 0. 3 times a plus I, which is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1. But to find out the determinant of this, so this is 3 plus 1, which is 4. This is equal to 4. Then we have 3, 0, this is 0 and this is also 0. Then 0, 0 again 0. Then we have this as 1 and we have 3 plus 1. So this is 3. Then we have again 0, 0. Then 3 and then 1. 0, 3 and 1. Thus the determinant will be determinant of this matrix 3a plus I will be equal to 4 into if I take this one, so 1 into 1 minus 3 into 3. So 1 into 1 minus 3 into 3, this is 1 minus 9, which is 8. So 4 into minus 8, which is equal to minus 32, because this is 0 and this is 0, so we don't have to worry about this. So determinant of 3a plus I is minus 32, and thus the absolute value, if I have to find out the absolute value, this will be equal to 32. Absolute value will be equal to 32, and therefore the absolute value of the determinant of a9 plus a6 plus aq plus a will be equal to 32. The area enclosed by 2 mod x plus 3 mod y less than equal to 6 is how many square units? So there are 4 possible cases: x greater than equal to 0, y greater than equal to 0. So then we'll get 2x plus 3y less than equal to 6. Then we will have x greater than equal to 0, y less than 0. Then we will have 2x minus 3y less than equal to 6. Then we will have x less than 0 and y greater than equal to 0. So again this time we will have minus 2x plus 3y less than equal to 6, and x less than 0 and y less than 0. We'll get minus 2x minus 3y less than equal to 6. Thus now if you plot it on the number line, it will look something like this. So it will be shaped like a rhombus. Not exactly a rhombus, but you can say a kind of kite like of figure, because this point is basically 3, 0. Then this is 0, 2, because ultimately if we see in all these equations, we can find out the intercepts. We can find out the intercept form. We can convert it into intercept form: x upon a plus y upon b less than equal to 1. We can change it to this form. Thus we'll get the intercept on x. So we'll get either for x intercept we'll get either 3 or minus 3, and y intercept we'll get either 2 or minus 2. So 0, 2, 0, minus 2, and this will be equal to minus 3, 0. Now we have to find out less than equal to, so this is 2x plus 3y less than equal to 6. So all the area in this part. Then we have 2x minus 3y less than equal to 6. So all the area in this part, x greater than equal to 0 and y less than 0. Then x less than 0, y greater than equal to 0. So all the area in this part, and then all the area minus 2x minus 3y less than equal to 6, all the area in this part. So we have to find out the area of this enclosed figure. Now if I carefully look, this is basically this is made by 4 right angle triangles of equal areas. 1, then we have 2, then we have 3, then we have 4. So 4 right angle triangle of equal areas, if we add up, we are getting the area of the enclosed figure. So thus this length is basically 2 units and this length is basically 3 units. So area of one of the triangle, let's say this is triangle A. So area of triangle will be half into base, which is 3, and height, which is 2. So half into 3 into 2, which is equal to 3 square units. If I have to find out the area of the entire figure, it is nothing but 4 times the area of the small right angle triangle. So 4a. So thus this is equal to 4 into 3, which is equal to 12 square units. Thus the area of the required figure, or this figure, which is kind of a kite, is basically 12 square units, and therefore I can say 12 square units will be the correct answer. The next question is saying if sine alpha plus sine beta is under root 2 by under root 3 and cos alpha plus cos beta is 1 by root 3, then the value of cos alpha minus 20 times cos alpha minus beta by 2 ka whole square. So we have sine alpha plus sine beta is equal to root 2 by root 3 and cos alpha plus cos beta is equal to 1 by root 3. So both the equations, what I'll do, I'll square both sides. Squaring both sides, and I'll add. Squaring both sides and adding. Certainly what we'll get is sine square alpha plus sine square beta plus 2 sine alpha sine beta. So this is my first equation, plus cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus 2 cos alpha cos beta This is my second equation. This should be equal to under root 2 by under root 3 ka whole square is 2 by 3 and 1 by root 3 ka whole square is 1 by 3. So 2 by 3 plus 1 by 3, this is equal to 1. Now sin square alpha plus cos square alpha, this is equal to 1. Sin square beta plus cos square beta, this is also equal to 1. So I'll write 2 plus, now I'll take 2 common here. Sin alpha sin beta plus cos alpha cos beta, this is cos alpha minus beta. Cos alpha minus beta is cos alpha cos beta plus sin alpha sin beta. So this I can write as cos of alpha minus beta, and this is 1. Thus I can take 2 to the right hand side and I can write cos alpha minus beta will be equal to this 1 minus 2 will be minus 1, and when this 2 will go to the denominator. So cos alpha minus beta is cos alpha minus beta is minus 1 by 2. Now I know cos theta is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1. This is also another, 2 cos square theta by 2 minus 1. This is the cos double angle property. So cos theta is equal to 2 cos square theta by 2 minus 1. So thus similarly cos alpha minus beta, I can write this as 2 cos square alpha minus beta by 2 minus 1 is equal to minus 1 by 2. What I can do, I can take minus 1 to the right hand side. This will become 1 plus 1, and plus 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. So 2 cos square alpha minus beta by 2 is equal to 1 by 2, and further I can write this as cos square alpha minus beta by 2 is equal to 1 by 4. I need to find out the value of 20 times cos of alpha minus beta ka whole square. So I need to find out the value of 20 times cos of alpha minus beta by 2 ka whole square. So this can be written as 400 into cos square of alpha minus beta by 2 ka whole square. So cos square into alpha minus beta by 2. Now cos square alpha minus beta by 2 can be put from here, and this value is 1 by 4. So this is further simplified to 400 into this is 1 by 4. So 400 into 1 by 4. So this is equal to 400 into 1 by 4 is 100. And thus 20 into cos alpha minus beta ka whole square will simplify to 100, and therefore the correct answer is 100. Next question is saying Mrs. and Mr. Sharma and Mrs. and Mr. Ahuja along with 4 other persons are to be seated on a round table for dinner. So there are Mrs. Sharma and Mr. Sharma, Mr. and Mr. Sharma, and we have Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja. And there are 4 more people. Let's say there are P1, P2, P3 and P4. If Mrs. and Mr. Sharma are to be seated next to each other, so they are to be seated next to each other, and Mrs. and Mr. Ahuja are not to be seated next to each other, so they should not be next to each other, then the total number of seating arrangement is. So in order to find out when Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together and when Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja are not together, what we can do is basically we can find all the cases in which Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together minus all those cases in which Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together and Ahuja, Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja are also together. So when Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together and rest other are randomly arranged, and we can subtract all those cases because ultimately we want Mr. and Mrs. Sharma to sit together. So we are considering Mr. and Mrs. Sharma to sit together in both the cases. But in this I don't want Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja to sit together. So what I will do is I'll assume that in first all the cases I'll say Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja and all the other 4 persons can sit randomly, and remove all those cases in which Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja are sitting together. When given that Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are already sitting together. So now what we have is basically Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja plus 6 more people, which is Mr. Ahuja, Mrs. Ahuja, P1, P2, P3 and P4. P1, P2, P3 and P4. So these are 7 different entities now. One, Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja is also one entity. 2, 3, Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja, different entities. Mr. and Mrs. Sharma will be considered a same entity because both of them are sitting together. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 different persons, which is 7 people. Now if there are n people seated around a circular table, number of ways of doing this is n minus 1 factorial. If there are n items and to arrange them in a circular manner, the number of ways is n minus 1 factorial. Now how many we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. There are 7 items. 7 items, and thus the number of ways of arranging this will be equal to 6 factorial. 6 factorial plus Mr. and Mrs. Sharma can change, like basically exchange their seats. So there are two ways. Either Mr. Sharma can be on the left of Mr. Sharma, or Mr. Sharma can be on the right of Mr. Sharma. So how many ways we can arrange them? It is into 2 factorial. So 6 factorial into 2 factorial is when Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together and rest all are sitting randomly. Now if I want Mr. and Mrs. Sharma to sit together and Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja to sit together as well. So what we have now is basically one entity as Mr. and Mrs. Sharma, then one entity as Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja, then we have 4 more people. So P1, P2, P3 and P4. So there are 4 more people. So there are 1, 2, Mr. and Mrs. Sharma, Mr. Ahuja and Mrs. Ahuja, then 3 P1, then 4 P2, 5 and 6. So there are 6 entities for which we have to arrange. And if there are n items, the number of ways is n minus 1 factorial. So thus the total number of ways of arranging these 6 entities will be 5 factorial. Multiplied by Sharma, Mr. and Mrs. Sharma can exchange their position. So it can be 2 factorial, 5 factorial into 2 factorial. And Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja can also exchange their position. So it can be 5 factorial into 2 factorial into 2 factorial. Thus now we need to find out the cases when Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together, but Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja are not together. So what we'll do, as mentioned, we'll just perform the operation, which is Mr. and Mrs. Sharma are together and rest all randomly seated. So this is 6 factorial into 2 factorial minus those cases in which Mr. and Mrs. Sharma and Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja all both the couples are sitting together and rest all randomly sitting. So this is 5 factorial into 2 factorial into 2 factorial. I can take 5 factorial into 2 factorial common. So this will be 5 factorial into 2 factorial common. This is 6 minus 2. So 5 factorial into 2 factorial is 120 into 2 and 6 minus 2 is 4. So 120 into 2 into 4. This is equal to 120 into 240 into 4 is 960. So thus there are 960 ways for Mr. and Mrs. Sharma to sit together and Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja should never sit together. So there are in total 960 ways in which we can arrange them, and therefore the number of seating arrangements will be 960. Next question is saying let Px denote the power set of a set X. So Px denote the power set. If A is the null set, then the number of elements in P of A, that is power of A set. So if we have a set X which has n elements, so power set of X will have 2 to the power n elements. If set X has n elements, so power set of X will have 2 to the power n elements. So it is given that A is the null set. So A has 0 elements basically. A is a null set, it means it has 0 elements. Then the number of elements of power of A. So first we will find out the power of A set. So power of A set will have 2 to the power 0, which is equal to 1 element. Then we have now we have power of A as 1 element. So now if we want to find out, I can say power of A has 1 element. Then power of A set will have 2 to the power 1, which is 2 elements. Now further if I write power of A has 2 elements, then we will have power of A as 2 to the power 2, which is 4 elements. And now when I say that power of A set has 4 elements, then power of this entire set, which is power of A set, will be equal to 2 to the power 4, which is equal to 16 elements. Thus this set, whatever this set is, basically the set power set 4 times the power set of the power sets of A, this will have 16 elements, and thus I can say all these this entire set will have 16 elements. So thus 16 is the correct answer. The next question is saying let 50 distinct positive integers be chosen such that the highest among them is 100 and the average of the largest 25 integers among them exceeds the average of the remaining integers by 50, then the maximum possible value of the sum of all 50 integers. We need to find out the maximum possible value. Now the highest value is 100. That is given, let's say there is this 25 integers. So these are 25 largest integers. This average is given as the average of the largest. Okay, this average, if this average is A, then the average of the remaining 25. Since there are 50 integers, so remaining 25 integers, this average will be what? This average is exceeds the average of the remaining integers by 50. So this average should be A minus 50, because this average is 50 more than the average of these 25 integers. So this will be A, if this is A, then it will be A minus 50, because A minus 50 plus 50 will give me A, which is the average of the 25 largest integers. So A and A minus 50. Now we need to find out the maximum possible value of the sum of all 50 integers. Now all of them are distinct positive integers, and if I want to find out the maximum possible value of the sum of all 50 integers, what I have to do, I have to use these 25 largest integers as to be the largest possible value which can be there for them. So the 25 largest value, like if I want to make this sum, the sum of the first 25 largest values as maximum, what I need is basically I need to choose all the maximum values. So this will be 100 plus 99 plus 98 plus 97 plus up till 76, because since we want the sum of all the 50 integers to be largest possible, so what we should take is basically that our first 25 numbers, if arranged in descending order, all 25 numbers should be the maximum possible. So what can be the maximum possible? Since all of them are distinct, so all of them cannot be 100. Now if I want the maximum possible value, it will be 100 plus 99 plus 98 plus 97 plus so up till 76. So 100 to 76, these are 25 largest possible integers can be there. So thus sum of this will be what? This will be 25 by 2, since there are 25 terms, multiplied by first term plus the last term. What is the first term? First term is 100 and last term is 76. So 100 plus 76. So this is equal to 25 by 2 into 176, which is 25 into 88, and this is 25 8s are 200, 0, and 25 8s are 200 plus 20. So this is 2200. So this is 2200, and average of these 25 integers, average will be what? 2200 divided by 25, this should be 88. I should have just directly used it from here, 25 into 88 divided by 25, the average will be 88. Now if the average of these first 25 largest 25 integers is 88, so average of the remaining 25 integers will be A minus 50. So if I say my value of A is 88, so my value of A minus 50 will be 88 minus 50, which is 38. So thus what I have now is basically I have this 25 integers, whose average is 88, and the remaining 25 integers whose average is 38. So total sum will be 25 into 88 plus 25 into 38. Now 25 into 88 will be 2200 plus 25 into 38 will be 25 8, which is 0, 2, 7, 75, and this will be 950. 25 into 38 will be 950. And 2200 plus 950 is 3150. Now since all these integers were the maximum possible sum, this sum will also be maximum possible. 3150 will be the maximum possible sum. Maximum possible sum will be 3150, and therefore I can say integer type question, and the maximum possible value of the sum of all 50 integers is 3150. The next question is saying Aruna purchases a certain number of apples for INR 20 each and a certain number of mangoes for INR 25 each. Okay, so let's say there are A apples. Apples is A and mangoes is M. Apples are A and mangoes are M. So we have A apples. So if I say this is apples A and mangoes M, the purchase 20 each. So each apple is 20 rupees. So this is 20 rupees per apple, and this is 25 rupees per mango. INR 25 each for a certain number of mangoes. If she sells all the apples at 10% profit, so this is the original, which is the cost price. Now in this case, what it is saying that if the selling price is for A, it is 10% profit. So A, it is 10% profit means this is rupees 22. 10% profit of 20 will be 20 into 1 plus 10%, which is 20 into 1.1, which is rupees 22. And all the mangoes at 20% loss overall, she makes neither profit nor loss. So all the mangoes at 20% loss. So if the price of each mango is 25 and she is selling all at 20% loss, so each mango will be rupees 20, which is 25 into 1 minus 80%. Now this is the cost price, this is the selling price, and it is saying that it is neither profit nor loss. So I can say total CP, and this is the number. This is the number, A apples and M mangoes. So total CP should be equal to total SP. Total cost price should be equal to total selling price. What is the total cost price? Total cost price is 20 into A, because each is 20 rupees each apple and there are A apples. So 20 into A plus 25 into M. 25 rupees each mango plus multiplied by M mangoes should be equal to 22 times A, which is 22 rupees selling price of apples plus 20 rupees selling price for mangoes. So 20 into M. If I further simplify this I'll get as, I can take this to the right hand side and this to the left hand side. So this I'll be left with 5M is equal to 2A, or I can write M is equal to 0.4A. M is equal to 0.4A. Now we have, instead if he sells all the apples at 20% loss, so apples at 20% loss. So now what we have is, basically if this is number, which is A and M, CP is 20 each and 25 each, and SP is what? It is 20% apples, 20% at loss. So this will be rupees 16. So 20% of 20 will be 20 into 1 minus 20%, which is rupees 16. And for mangoes it is, and all the mangoes at 10% profit overall. So this will be rupees 25, 10% will be 2.5. So 25 into 1 plus 10%. So it is 25 and plus 2.5, which is 27.5. So this will be 27.5. If she sells like this, that is apples at 20% loss and mangoes at 10% profit, she makes a loss of INR 150. Overall loss is 150. So loss is what? Loss is total CP minus total SP. So loss is rupees 150. And what is total CP now? Total CP is 20A plus 25M, similar to the previous case. But total SP will be 16 rupees each apple and A apple. So this will be 16A minus 27.5 each mango and into M, which is 27.5 M. So this will be equal to 4A minus 25 plus 27, which is 52.5 M. So this will be plus, this should be plus 16 apples, so 16 into A and 27.5 each mango, and there are M mangoes, so 16 into A plus 27.5 into M. So this will be 4A minus 2.5 M. Because this is 25M minus 27.5M, this is 4A into minus 2.5M. Now M is 0.4A. So this will be equal to 4A minus 2.5 into 0.4A. M is 0.4A, I am just putting the value over here. 150 is equal to 4A minus 2.5 into 0.4A. 2.5 into 0.4, this is 1. 2.5 into 0.4, this is 1. 25 into 4 is 100, and there are two decimals, so 100 goes 2 decimal 0, so 1.00 or 1. So thus I can write 4A minus A is equal to 150, or I can write 3A is equal to 150, or I can further simplify this to A is equal to 50. So it is asking for the number of apples purchased by Aruna. So we need to find out the value of A, and the value of A has come out to be 50, and therefore I can say the correct answer is 50. There are 50 apples which are bought by Aruna in this case. So 50 is the correct answer. If log y to the base x square plus log x to the base y square is equal to 1 and y is equal to x square minus 30, then the value of x square plus y square is. So we know that log a to the base b can be written as log a upon log b. So similarly we'll do this. So log y upon log x square plus log x upon log y square should be equal to 1. Now log a to the power x can be written as x log a. Log a to the power x to the base b can be written as x log a to the base b. So similarly this can be written as log y plus 2 log x plus log x, and this again power can come out, so this will be log x plus 2 log y. 2 into log y. Just 2 into log y is equal to 1. Thus I can write log y upon log x plus log x upon log y to be equal to 1 into 2, which is 2. Log y plus log x plus log x upon log y to be equal to 2. Now this is a upon b plus b upon a. Now a upon b plus b upon a is always greater than equal to 2. A upon b plus b upon a is always greater than equal to 2. You can use the am greater than equal to gm formula for this. and it is this equality or this equation is only equal to 2 when A upon B is equal to B upon A. Or I can further write this as A is equal to B. If I have to just simplify this, A upon B plus B upon A, this is equal to 2. This is equal to 2 when A is equal to B. A upon B plus B upon A, first of all, it should be always be greater than or equal to 2. Now, if it is equal to 2, this is only possible when A and B, that is both numerator and denominator, are equal. So thus I can say if log y upon log x plus log x upon log y is equal to 2, I can definitely say that log x is equal to log y. Log x is equal to log y, and thus I can say x should be equal to y. X should be equal to y. Also remember this thing that y and x are in log. So both of them, x should be greater than 0 and y should be greater than 0 as well. Both x and y should be greater than 0. Now x is equal to y. We are also given one more equation, which is y is equal to x square minus 30. Thus we will write y is equal to x square minus 30, and in this position of y I can just put x because y is equal to x. So x is equal to x square minus 30. Further simplifying will give me x square minus x minus 30 is equal to 0. Simplifying this further, x square minus 6x plus 5x minus 30 is equal to 0, or x minus 6 into x plus 5, this is equal to 0, and I can write this as either x is equal to 6 or x is equal to minus 5. Now both x and y are equal, so this will imply that y is 6 or y is minus 5. But since, as I clearly wrote, that it is inside the log, so x and y should always be greater than 0. X and y should always be greater than 0, and thus I can write this solution will never be possible. That is, x and y as negative quantity is never possible, and thus I can say x will be equal to 6 and y will be equal to 6. We need to find out the value of x square plus y square. So x square is 6 square plus y square is 6 square. So this is 36 plus 36, which is 72. So x square plus y square is 72. X square plus y square is 36 plus 36, which is 72, and therefore I can say the value of x square plus y square is 72. The numbers minus 16, 2 to the power x minus x plus 3 minus 2 to the power 2x minus 1 minus 16, and 2 to the power x minus 1 plus 16 are in an arithmetic progression. So they are in an AP. So if A, B, C are in AP, we know that 2B is equal to A plus C. So we'll apply this formula, and ultimately we have to find out the value of x. So 2B, this is my B, this is my A, and this is my C. So I can write 2B is equal to A plus C. So I can say 2B is 2 into 2 to the power x plus 3 minus 2 to the power 2x minus 1, 2 to the power 2x minus 1 minus 16. 2B is equal to A, which is minus 16, plus 2 to the power 2x minus 1 plus 16. So 2B is equal to A plus C. This minus 16 and plus 16 goes. This will be equal to 2 to the power x plus 4 minus 2 to the power 2x minus 16 is equal to 2 to the power 2x minus 1. What I'll do is I'll multiply by 2. Let's just multiply the entire equation by 2. This will be equal to 2 to the power x plus 5, or I can write 2 to the power x into 2 to the power 5 minus this will be equal to 2 to the power 2x plus 1, or I can just simply write this 2 to the power x ka whole square into 2 to the power 1, which is 2. Minus 16 is equal to 2x minus 1 plus 1 will into 2 will be 2 to the power 2x. So I can write 2 to the power x to the whole power 2. Now what I'll do, I'll assume 2 to the power x as t. So this will be equal to t into 2 to the power 5 is 32. So t into 32 minus 2 to the power x is t. So t square into 2 minus 16 will be equal to t square. I can take this entire equation to the right hand side. So this will become 3t square minus 32t minus 16 is equal to 0. Okay, one more thing. This will be 32. I missed it. 2 into minus 16 will be 32. So this will be 32 and this will be 32 as well. So this will be 32, 32 and 32. Is there anything we are missing? Okay, we multiplied this entire equation by 2. So this will become 64. So this will be 64 now. This is 64 and 64. So if I further solve this up, this will become 64. So this will also be 64. Also, since I am taking the entire equation to the right hand side, so this will be 3t square. This will be minus 32t, and this minus 64 will become plus 64. So this is 3t square minus 32t plus 64 is equal to 0. Now we have 3t square, so we have to factorize it. I can factorize this 24 and 8. So 3t square minus 24t minus 8t plus 64 should be equal to 0. I can further factorize it to 3t minus 8 into t minus 8 should be equal to 0. And from here there are two possible values of t. Either t should be equal to 8 by 3 or t can be equal to 8. Now we need to find out first of all the value of x, and since this is an integer question, we need to find out an integer value of x. So if I compare t is equal to 8 to the power 3 and t is 2 to the power x. Now if I say 2 to the power x is equal to 8 by 3, will I get any integer value of x? X won't be an integer. X will not be an integer value, and therefore I can say this cannot be possible. Now thus t should be equal to x. So 2 to the power x should be equal to 8. 2 to the power x is equal to 2 to the power 3. 8 can be written as 2 cube. So 2 to the power x is equal to 2 cube, and thus I can say x is equal to 3. We needed an integer value, and thus x should be equal to 3, and therefore I can say then x equals 3. This is the correct answer. The next question is saying the number of triangles that can be formed by choosing points from 7 points on a line and 5 points on another parallel line is. So there are two parallel lines and there are 7 points on one line. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there are 5 points on another parallel line. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the points which are given to us. We have to find what is the number of triangles that can be formed. So what can be the way? Either we can choose, let's say if this is line 1 and this is line 2. What we can choose is basically from line 1 we can choose 2 points and line 2 we can choose 1 point. If we choose 2 points, let's say this one and 1 point this one. Now if we join these three, 2 and 3, then what will happen is basically we'll get a triangle. So similarly, if we choose 2 points from line 1 and 1 from line 2, we'll get a triangle. Similarly, if we get 1 point from line 1 and 2 points from line 2. So let's say I choose this point, this one and this one. So I draw a triangle like this. Now this will also give me a triangle when I have chosen 1 point from line 1 and 2 points from line 2. Thus this will give me a triangle. So now I have to check out the number of ways. So this is either and or. Line 1 2 points and line 2 1 points and line 1 1 points and line 2 2 points. Now or means plus and means multiplication. So line 1 2 points, there are 5 points and we have to choose 2. So this is 5c2. Since there is and, so multiplied. From line 2 we have to choose 1 point. So out of 7 1 is 7c1. Or so we'll add this up. Line 1 1 point means out of these 5 we have to choose 1. So 5c1. And line 2 2 means out of these 7 points we have to choose 2. So into 7c2. So 5c2 into 7c1 plus 5c1 into 7c2. So 5c2 is 10 into 7 plus 5c1 into 7c2 is 5 into 21. So this is 70 plus 21 into 5 is 105. So 105 plus 70 is 175. So this is the number of triangles that can be formed using these points, and thus the number of triangles formed is 175. The next question is saying a new sequence is obtained from the sequence of positive integers 1, 2, 3 by deleting all the perfect squares. So we have a sequence which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up till infinite. We have this infinite number of positive integer sequence. Out of this, we have deleted all the perfect squares. So 1 is removed, then 4 is removed, and then 9 is removed. So we are getting a series like 2, then 3, then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, then we have 10, 11, and something like this. Then the 2022nd term of the new sequence will be. So this is my new sequence, and I have to find out the 2022nd term. So if I see what is the square of 45. 45 square is 2025. Thus I have to consider this number to get my 2022nd term. So 45 square means 2025, which means that we have a series of 2025 terms which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till 2025. But as per our new sequence, we have removed all the perfect square. That is 1 is removed, 4 is removed, then 9 is removed, then 16 is removed, and up till 2025 is removed. So if my old sequence, this one, had 2025 terms, what will happen? Basically my new sequence will be having no perfect square. So basically 1 is removed, 4 is removed, 9 is removed, and up till 2025 all the squares, all the perfect squares that are there are removed. So 1 is 1 square, then 4 is 2 square, then 9 is 3 square, and 2025 is 45 square. So we have removed 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, and up till 45 square we have removed. So thus we have removed 45 numbers out of this 2025. Out of these 2025 terms, in my new sequence, 45 terms are removed. So thus my new sequence will have 45 terms less than the previous sequence, which is now it will have 1980 terms. The new sequence will have 1980 terms, and this will be equal to all the perfect squares will be removed. So 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 10 up till 2024. So this contains 1980 terms. Now after this, 46 square is 2116. 46 square is 2116. So up till we reach this number, then we have to remove one more number. But what will happen? It is asking for 2022nd term. So we have 1980 terms. If this number reaches till 2116, then we have to remove one more number, which is 46 square. So thus we have to check whether this last number reaches 2116 or not. Now this is 1980 term. So there are 1980 terms, and this is starting from 2 and ending at 2024, and it is a sequence of positive integers consecutively included after removing all the perfect squares. So thus I can say 1980 term will be 2024. This is my 1980th term. Now this is my 2024, which is 1980th term. Now if I consider my 1981st term, it will be what? My 1981st term will be 2026. Why? Because we have to remove 2025 since it is a perfect square. So this is my 1981st term. Now I need to get 2022nd term. It is asking for 2022nd term. Thus, what I have to do? I have to add 41 in this. I have to add 41 in both sides, because then only I'll get 2022 term. So A of 2022 is equal to 2026 plus 41, and thus I can say 2022nd term will be equal to 2067. Now if this number would have been equal to or greater than 2116, so then we have to remove one number, and thus we might have to subtract one number from the final answer. But since this value is less than 2116, and thus we don't have to remove any number, and thus I can say 2022nd term will be 2067, and therefore this value will be 2067. The next question is saying, when Geeta increases her speed from 12 km per hour to 20 km per hour, she takes 1 hour less than the usual time to cover the distance between her home and her office. So when she is driving at 12 km per hour, let's say she takes T hours. Now if she increases her speed to 20 km per hour, so if she increases her speed to 20 km per hour, she will take 1 hour less than the usual time. So usual time is T hours, 1 hour less means T minus 1 hours. Now I know distance is equal to speed into time. Now in both the cases, she is traveling from home to office. Thus I can say the distance will be same in both the cases. So in this case, the distance will be what? The distance will be speed into time, which is 12 into t. Should be equal to speed into time again, which is 20 into t minus 1. So 20 into t minus 1. If I remove this is 3 and this is 5, and thus I can write 3t is equals to 5t minus 5, and thus 2t is equal to 5, or I can write t is equals to 2.5 hours. Now if I have to ultimately find out the distance between her home and her office, which is equal to either 12 into 2 or 20 into t minus 1. This is basically these both are the distance between her office and her home. So thus I can write distance will be equal to, I can use any of the equation to get my answer. I'll use 12 into t, thus 12 multiplied by 2.5, and this is equal to 30 kilometers. The distance between her home and her office is 30 kilometers, and therefore the correct answer will be 30. The next question is saying the third, 14th and 69th terms of an arithmetic progression form 3 distinct and consecutive terms of a geometric progression. So we have third term. So let's say our AP is, first term is A. First term is equal to A, and let's say common difference is D. So my third term will be what? A plus 2D. My 14th term will be A plus 13D. And my 69th term will be A plus 100, A plus 68D. Now these three form an geometric progression. So if this form a geometric progression, so this is my A, B, C. If I consider A, let's say this is my X, this is my Y, and this is my Z. And since if it is a geometric progression, I can write Y square should be equal to XZ. So this means A plus 13D ka whole square should be equal to A plus 2D into A plus 68D. Thus, I can write A plus 13D ka whole square is A square plus 26AD plus 13D ka whole square is 169D square should be equal to A square 70AD and this is 136D square. This will be 136D square. So A square get cancelled and thus this will be equal to 33D square should be equal to, this goes 44AD. I can take this to the left hand side and thus I can take 11D common. This will be equal to 3D minus 4A and should be equal to 0. So either there are two things possible, D can be 0 or it can be D should be equal to 4A by 3. Now can D be 0? It is clearly given that it is from three distinct and distinct and consecutive terms of a geometric progression. So there are distinct. So if D is equal to 0, what will happen? This X, Y and Z all three will become A. So thus I can say D cannot be equal to 0 and therefore D should be equal to 4A by 3. Now if the next term of the geometric progression is the nth term of the arithmetic progression. So let's calculate the value of X, Y and Z. So X is basically this term which is A plus 2D. So A plus 2D which is equal to A plus 2 into 4A by 3 which is equal to 11A by 3. Then Y is equals to A plus 13D which is A plus 13 into 4A by 3 and this is equal to 55A by 3 and Z is equal to A plus 68D which is equal to A plus 68 into 4A by 3 and this will be equal to 275A by 3. 275A by 3. Now if this is X, Y and Z, what I can see is basically it is getting multiplied by 5. It is getting multiplied by 5 and since this is a GP, so thus I can say the next term after this will also be multiplied by 5 and thus the next term will be what? 275A by 3 multiplied by 5. 27A by 3 multiplied by 5. This is equal to 1375A by 3. 1375A by 3. Now this is the nth term of the arithmetic progression. It is clearly given that this is the nth term of the arithmetic progression. So this is my AN. This 1375A by 3 is AN. So thus I can write A plus n minus 1 into D is 4A by 3 should be equal to 1375A by 3. I can take this to the right hand side. This will become n minus 1 into 4A by 3 should be equal to 1372A by 3 and this 3 and 3 get cancelled, A and A get cancelled and this will be goes n minus 1 is equal to 3, 4 and 3. So n minus 1 is 3, 4 and 3 and therefore I can write n should be equal to 344. Thus the next term of the geometric progression will be 344th term of the arithmetic progression and therefore I can write this value is 344. Given that fx is equal to mod x plus 2 mod x minus 1 plus mod x minus 2 plus mod of x minus 4 plus mod of x minus 6 plus 2 times mod of x minus 10, x belongs to minus infinity to infinity, the minimum value of fx is. For these type of questions, you have to see wherever the mod of whatever is there inside mod, where it is getting 0, because it is basically the point where the trajectory of the graph will change. So we can see at x is equal to 0, this will become 0. Then at x is equal to 1, this mod will become 0. Then at x is equal to 2, this mod will become 0. Then x is equal to 4, this mod becomes 0. X is equal to 6, this mod becomes 0. And x is equal to 10, this mod will become 0. So thus we have to check at each point what is the value of f of x at x 0, 1, 2, 4, 6 and 10. And whichever is the minimum value will be the minimum value, because at this point either the graph is going from the maximum, like it is reaching the maximum point and now the graph will go like this, or it is at the minimum point and then the graph will change its trajectory and it will go up. So thus let's check the value at x is equal to 0 first. So when x is equal to 0, fx will be 0 plus 2 into 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2 into 10. So this is roughly 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8 plus 6, 14 plus 2 into 10, which is 24. Now we have x is equal to 1. So thus fx will be equal to 1 plus 2 into 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2 into 9. So this will be roughly equal to 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 and 2 nines are 18. So this is 28. So this is 24, then 28. Then let's check at x is equal to 2. Also this 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8, 14. So this should be 34. This should not be 24. This should be 34. Then we have at x is equal to 2. Let's check f of x. So this is 2 plus 2 into 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 into 8. This is equal to 2 plus 2 4 plus 2 6 plus 4 10 and plus 18, which is 28. So again let me check. 2 plus 2 4 plus 2 6 plus 4 10. Okay, this is 16. So this will be 26. This will be 26. Then let's check at x is equal to 4, x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 10. So x is equal to 4, f of x will be equal to 4 plus 2 into 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 into 6. So this is equal to 4 plus 6, 10, 12, 14 and 12, which is 26. So this is also 26. Then x is equal to 6, f of x will be equal to 6 plus 2 into 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 into 4. So this is equal to 6 plus 10, 16, 20, 22 and 8, 30. So this is equal to 30. And then at x is equal to 10, f of x will be equal to 10 plus 2 into 9 plus 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 into 0. So this is equal to 10 plus 18, 28, 36, 42 plus 4, 46. So now we have 34, 28, 26, 26, 30 and 46. We have to find out the minimum value of fx. We can clearly see the minimum value of fx is 26, which is occurring at either x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 4, and thus I can say minimum value is 26, and therefore correct answer will be 26. The next question is saying the sum of the first 15 terms in an arithmetic progression is 200. So we have first 15 terms whose sum is 200, while the sum of the next 15 terms is 350. So next 15 terms is 350. So we have first 15 terms. Let's say this is S15, which is equal to 200, and next 15 terms which is 350. So thus I can write this is the first 30 terms. These are the first 30 terms, and the total sum will be 200 plus 350, which is equal to 550. And thus I can write S30 is equal to 550. S30 is equal to 550. Now we know Sn is n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So thus I can write 15 by 2, 2a plus 14d divided by 30 by 2, 2a plus 29d. This should be equal to 200 upon 550. I am just taking the ratio of it. I am just dividing 1 and 2. So say this is my 1 and this is my 2. I am just doing 1 divided by 2. So thus solving this will give me, I can remove this 2 and 2. This will goes 2 times, and again 2a plus 14. This will become a plus 70. So thus I can write a plus 70 upon 2a plus 29d should be equal to, this goes by 50. So this becomes 4 by 11. So this is equal to 4 by 11. Thus I can write 11a plus 77d after cross multiplying should be equal to 8a plus 116d. I can take this to left hand side and this to right hand side. I will get 3a is equal to 39d, 3a is equal to 39d, and thus I can write a is equal to 13d. A is equals to, first of all, 13d. I have to find out the common differences. So I can use this one to find out the common difference. S15 is equal to 200. So thus I can write here 15 by 2 into 2a plus 14d should be equal to 200. And thus I can use this 2a plus 14d becomes a plus 7d. So 15 into, what is a? A is 13d. So 13d plus 7d should be equal to 200. So this becomes 15. So this becomes 20d. This becomes 20d. And thus I can write 15 into 20 is 300d. So I can write here 300d should be equal to 200. And this I can take to the right hand side denominator. So d becomes 2 upon 3. When d becomes 2 upon 3, we have to ultimately find out the value of the common difference, and which is 2 by 3. So thus option A is the correct answer. The next question is saying for theta from 0 to pi by 4, Let A is this, B is this, C is this, and D is this. So A, B, C, D are given to us. Then the median value in the sequence A, B, C, D is. So first of all, we have to arrange them in a sorted order. And then we'll take the mean two value, that is the second and the third value, and I'll take the mean of it to find out the median value. So firstly, A is sin theta to the power sin theta. So any term which is like cos theta, first of all, this will be in the range of 1 by root 2 to 1. And sin theta will be in the range of 0 to 1 by root 2. If it is 0 to pi by 4, if theta is 0 to pi by 4, cos theta and sin theta will be this. Now, sin theta to the power sin theta, this one. So, any sin theta to the power sin theta or sin theta to the power cos theta or cos theta to the power sin theta or anything, this all should be greater than 1 because all of them are positive numbers which has a positive power. So it will definitely be greater than 1. All of them are fractional numbers and this should be greater than 0 because all of them are positive numbers to the power of positive only. So it will ultimately give me positive number. But if I take a look of this cos theta is 1 by root 2 to 1 and sin theta is 0 to 1 by root 2. So what I can see is cos theta is less than 1 and sin theta is also less than 1. Both of them are less than 1. If I take log base 2 to the both sides, so log cos theta to the base 2 is less than log 1 to the base 2. Thus I can write log cos theta to the base 2, this will be less than 0 because log 1 to the base 2 is 0 and log cos theta to the base 2 is less than 0. Similarly, log sin theta to the base 2 will also be 0. So thus I can say all of A, B, C and D, these will be negative terms. These will be negative terms. Why? Because first part is positive, that is the sine to the power of sine or sine to the power of cos or cos to the power of sine. This is positive, but all the log part is negative. So positive multiplied by a negative term is basically a negative term only. So A, B, C, D will be negative terms. Now we'll compare each value one by one. So first let's compare A and D. Why we are comparing A and D? Because we can clearly say this is sin theta to the power sin theta and this is sin theta to the power sin theta, and it will get cancelled. So A upon D will be ultimately be left with log cos theta to the base 2 upon log sin theta to the base 2. Now we have log cos theta to the base 2 upon log sin theta to the base 2. Now I clearly know that cos theta is greater than sin theta in the range of 0 to pi by 4, which is this one. Log cos theta is greater than sin theta. Now if I take log both sides, log base 2 both sides, so log 2 cos theta is greater than log 2 sin theta to the base 2. Why? Because this value, which is the base is greater than 1, base is greater than 1 and cos theta and sin theta are all positive numbers. So thus we don't have to change the sign. So thus this will we'll get this log cos theta to the base 2 is greater than log sin theta to the base 2, or I can write log cos theta to the base 2 upon log sin theta to the base 2 will be greater than 1. And therefore I can write A upon D should be greater than 1, or I can first write A should be greater than D. This is my first equation. A should be greater than D. Now I'll do the second part. I'll compare two more terms and this time I'll go for A and C. And the reason for going for A and C is basically, if you can see, both of them has log cos theta to the base 2. Both of them has log cos theta to the base 2, and this will get cancelled. So this will log cos theta to the base 2, log cos theta to base 2 will get cancelled. So A upon C will be roughly equal to sin theta to the whole power sin theta upon sin theta to the whole power cos theta. Thus this will be equal to sin theta to the whole power sin theta minus cos theta. Now in the range of 0 to pi by 4, sin theta minus cos theta will be less than 0, because in 0 to pi by 4, as I said, cos theta is greater than sin theta. In 0 to pi by 4, cos theta is greater than sin theta. So sin theta minus cos theta will be less than 0. And sin theta is what? Sin theta is in the range of 0 to 1. Sin theta is in the range of 0 to 1. So any number which is a fractional term which is in the range of 0 to 1, which is less than 1, and the power is negative, for any number which is 0 to 1 and power is negative, this will always be greater than 1. You can take the example of 1 by 2 to the whole power minus 2. Now it is 0 to 1 and the power is negative. This will be equal to 1 by 2 will become 2, 2 to the power 2, and this will be equal to 4. Now this value 1 by 2 to the power minus 2 is greater than 1. So thus I can say this value, which is sin theta up to the power sin theta minus cos theta, is greater than 1, and therefore I can say a upon c to be greater than 1, or I can write not a upon c, let me write one more thing, which is sin theta. I'll compare this term. I won't directly compare a upon c because I want to do something else. So I can write sin theta to the whole power sin theta upon sin theta to the whole power cos theta should be greater than 1. Thus I can write sin theta to the whole power sin theta should be greater than sin theta to the whole power cos theta. Sin theta to the whole power sin theta should be greater than sin theta to the whole power cos theta. Let me multiply both sides by log cos theta to the base 2. So if I multiply by log cos theta to the base 2, both sides, so log cos theta to the base 2 sin theta whole power sin theta, and this is log cos theta to the base 2 sin theta whole power cos theta, multiply by sin theta to the whole power cos theta. Now, if there is any term, I clearly told you that log 2 cos theta is less than 0 and log sin theta to the base 2 is less than 0. Log cos theta to the base 2 is less than 0. So if any equation which is of the form a is greater than b, and if I multiply it by some negative number, let's say I am multiplying it by minus 3. I am multiplying it by minus 3. So what will happen? This will become minus 3a to be less than minus 3b. The signs will change. If I multiply any equation by a negative number, the signs will change. Greater than will become less than. Now since both of them is a negative number, so I am multiplying this equation by a negative number. Log cos theta to the base 2 is a negative number, and since I am multiplying this equation by a negative number, what will happen? This greater than symbol will become less than symbol. Now if I see log cos theta to the base 2 is into sin theta, this is a. So this is a, so a is less than c. This part is c and this part is a. So a is less than c, and thus we have got the second equation, which is c is greater than a. Now if I take one more comparison, this time what I'll do is basically I'll compare AD, AC. Now I need B as well. So what I'll do, I have cos theta, sin theta, and okay, I'll do B upon D. I'll compare B and D. Why? Because log sin theta to the base 2, log sin theta to the base 2 will get cancelled. So I have a term which is cos theta upon cos theta to the whole power sin theta upon sin theta to the whole power sin theta. Again, this is B upon D. So this I can write this as cot theta to the whole power sin theta. Now in the range of 0 to pi by 4, what will happen? Cot theta is always in the range of 1 to infinity. From 0 to pi by 4, cot theta is always in the range of 1 to infinity, and sin theta is in the range of 0 to 1 by root 2. Thus what we have is basically we have a positive number, that is a number which is greater than 1 to the whole power fractional, which is less than 1. It is to the whole power less than 1. Greater than 1 to the whole power less than 1. So now if I see, we can take any number, let's say 2 to the power 1 by 2. That is square root of 2. The square root of 2 is 1.414. Let's take any other number which is 3 to the power 1 by 2. So square root of 3 is what? It is again 1.73. So any number which is greater than 1 and power is less than 1, this number will always be greater than 1 as well. Why? Because 1 to the power of any number which is less than 1, it is under root will come, under root or cube root, any root will come out as 1 only. So thus this value, if it is greater than 1, inside value is greater than 1 and power is less than 1, this value is always greater than 1. So I can write cos theta to the whole power sin theta should be greater than sin theta to the whole power sin theta. Cos theta to the whole power sin theta should be greater than sin theta to the whole power sin theta, because this value ultimately is greater than 1. Now what we'll do, I'll multiply by log sin theta to the base 2 both sides. Remembering that both of them are less than 0. Log sin theta to the base 2 is less than 0. So what we are doing is basically we are multiplying this equation by a negative number. So when you are multiplying this equation by a negative number, what will happen? The signs will change. So log sin theta to the base 2 multiplied by cos theta to the whole power sin theta, this greater than will become less than, because this value is a negative term. So this will be less than log sin theta to the base 2 multiplied by sin theta to the whole power sin theta. Thus I can write log sin theta to the base 2 cos theta sin theta. This is b, so b should be less than d. B should be less than d, and thus I can write this third part I can write here as b is less than d. B is less than d. So a is greater than d, c is greater than a. So what I can conclude from here is, from here I can conclude c is greater than a greater than d, and d is greater than b. B is less than d or d is greater than b, so this will be greater than b. So my final equation is something like c greater than a greater than d greater than b. This is my final order. Now I have to find out the median value. What we can do is we can arrange them in ascending order. So this will be b less than d, less than a, and less than c. Now this is an ascending order, and median value will be sum of second and third term. So median will be equal to a plus b by 2, because it is the mean of these two terms, because it is in the it is like b comma d comma a comma c. Thus the median will be the average mean of the middle two terms, which is a plus d by 2, and therefore option B, a plus d by 2 is the correct answer. The next question is saying, in a right angle triangle ABC, the hypotenuse AC is of length 13 centimeters. So we have a right angle triangle ABC, and length of AC is 13 centimeters. So ABC and hypotenuse, this is 13 centimeters, this will be 90. A line drawn connecting the midpoints D and E of sides AB and AC is found to be 6 centimeters. So this has D midpoint AB, and this is E midpoint, which is AC, and this length is what? This is 6 centimeters. The length of BC is, so if this D and this E are midpoints, we can use a midpoint theorem of the triangle. So we can use this midpoint theorem, and what does midpoint theorem says? It says that first of all, DE is parallel to BC. If D and E are midpoints, of AB and AC, then DE is parallel to BC, and DE is equals to half of BC. DE is parallel to BC and DE is equal to half of BC. I have to find out the length of BC, and I know DE is 6. So 6 is equal to half of BC, and thus I can write BC is equal to 12 centimeter. BC is equal to 12 centimeter, thus the length of BC is D, which is 12 centimeter. The next question is saying, in a room there are n persons whose average height is 160 centimeter. So there are n persons whose average height is 160 centimeter. If m more persons whose average height is 172 enter the room, so there are m persons more whose average height is 172 centimeter. If they are joining, then the average height of all the persons in the room, so this will make average height of all the persons in the room, which is m plus n persons, becomes 164 centimeter. This becomes 164 centimeter. So for n percent it is 160, and for m percent it is 172, and when they both are combined, that is m plus n persons, it will become 164 centimeter. Then m is to n is, so basically we have n persons whose average height is 160 centimeter. So their total height will be what? Their total height will be 160 n. The total height will be 160 n. Similarly, if m persons average height is 172 centimeter, their total height will be 172 into m. It is given that when they both are combined, that is when there are m plus n persons, the average height is 164 centimeter, and therefore I can write m plus n will be 164 into multiplied by m plus n, because for all m plus n person, average height is 164, the total height will be 164 into m plus n. So 160n plus 172m should be equal to 164m plus 164n. Thus I can write this will become 4n and this will become 8m. So thus I can write 8m is equal to 4n, or m upon n is equal to 4 by 8 is equal to 1 by 2. So what I can say is m is to n should be equal to 1 is to 2. M is to n should be equal to 1 is to 2, and therefore option C, 1 is to 2 is the correct answer. The next question is saying the number of 4-digit numbers which are greater than 1000 and divisible by both 2 and 3 but not by 5. So divisible by both 2 and 3, divisible by 2 and divisible by 3 means it is divisible by 6. So we have to find out all the numbers which are divisible by both 2 and 3. This is divisible by 6 and not by 5. So if it is divisible by 6 and it should not be divisible by 5, what I need to subtract? I need to subtract all those numbers which are divisible by 30. all those numbers need to be subtracted which are divisible by 30. Why? Because if I see all the numbers which are divisible by 30, they are divisible by 2 and 3, which is 6, and they are divisible by 5 as well. So if I don't remove these numbers which are divisible by 30, what will happen? I have all the numbers which are divisible by 2, 3 and 5, and I have to remove the numbers which are divisible by 5. So I have to remove all those numbers which are divisible by 30. So divisible by 6, it is firstly given that it is greater than 1000. So first term will be 1002. This is the first term which is divisible by 6, and all of them are 4-digit integers. It is clearly given they are 4-digit integers. So 1002, 1008 up till we have 9996. This is the last term, last 4-digit number which is divisible by 6. So thus this number of terms will be equal to 9996 is equal to 1002 plus n minus 1 into what is the common difference? Common difference is 6. So this will be equal to 8994 is equal to n minus 1 into 6, and therefore I can write this will go 6, 14, 9 and 9. So n minus 1 is equal to 1499, or n is equal to 1500 terms. So there are 1500 4-digit numbers which are greater than 1000 and they are divisible by 6. Now we have to remove all those numbers which are divisible by 30. So divisible by 30 will be what numbers? First number will be 1020. This is the first number which is divisible by 30. First 4-digit number which is divisible by 30. So 1020, 1050, 1080 up till we have 9990. This is the final number, last 4-digit number which is divisible by 30. Because up next will be 10020. So then we'll have 10020 which is a 5-digit number. Thus again applying the AP formula, which is 9990 should be equal to 1020 plus m minus 1 into let's say the common difference is 30, so m minus 1 into 30. So this will be equal to 8940 should be equal to m minus 1 into 8970, sorry. 8970 should be equal to m minus 1 into 30. The 0 get cancelled, and this is equal to 299. This 3 goes 299 times. So m minus 1 is equal to 299, or m I can write this is 300. So there are 300 terms which are divisible by 30. Now since we have to find out all the numbers which are divisible by 2 and 3, that is which are divisible by 6 and not by 5, is basically we have to do 1500 divisible by 2 and 3 minus all those numbers which are divisible by 6 and 5 as well. So we have to remove this 300 terms, because there are these 300 terms that are divisible by 5 as well. We have to ultimately remove them. So this will be 1500 minus 300, which is equal to 1200. So there will be 1200 terms that are divisible by 2 and 3 but not by 5, and therefore I can say option D, 1200 is the correct answer. The next question is given: in how many ways can the letters of the word management be arranged such that no two vowels appear together? So we have letters which is M, A, okay, I'll separate out the vowels, A, then I have N, then I have again A, then I have G, E, M, E, N and T. So these are the vowels and these are the consonants. Now we have to arrange such that no two vowels occur together. So we can do M, N, M, N, G and T. Now these are the 6 letters. Now if I want no two vowels to appear together, so I have to put vowels in places like either I can put vowel here, or I can put vowel here, 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 I can put vowel here or here. So I have in total 7 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I have 7 positions to put my vowels, like so that no two vowels are together. So out of these 7 positions, I can choose 4 positions because I have 4 vowels. So I can choose 4 positions where I can put vowels. So out of these 7, 4 I can put, so 7, C, 4. Out of these 7, I can choose 4 positions where I can put vowels, so 7, C, 4. Now, I have M, N, M, N, G and T. So I have 6 letters. Also, there are 4 vowels, so these 4 vowels can be arranged in 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 2 factorial, because A is repeating twice and E is repeating twice. Now I have completely handled the vowels part. Now I have to handle the consonants part. So consonants, there are 6 consonants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of which M, M and N are repeating. So multiplied by 6 factorial divide by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So 6 factorial divide by 2 factorial into 2 factorial. So we'll have 7C4, which is 7 into 6 into 5 divided by 3 factorial, 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 4 factorial, multiplied by 4 factorial into 2 factorial, 2 factorial, this is 6, and 6 factorial divided by 4, this is 180. Now this 4 factorial get cancelled, 3 factorial is 6, so 6 and 6 get cancelled, this will be equal to 35 into 6 into 180, or I can write 210 into 180, or I can write 0 and 0, 18 ones are 18 and 18 to the 36, so 37800. So there are in total 37,800 ways such that we can arrange the letters of the word management in which no two vowels are appearing together, and therefore option A, 37,800 is the correct answer. The next question is saying the set of all possible values of fx for which 81 to the power x plus 81 to the power f of x is equal to 3. So 81 is equal to 3 to the power 4. Thus I can write as 3 to the power 4x plus 3 to the power 4, or I can just keep it same, 81 to the power f of x. 81 to the power f of x is equal to 3, and thus I can write 81 to the power f of x is equal to 3 minus 3 to the power 4x. Now I know 81 to the power f of x, 81 to the power f of x should be greater than 0, because every number whose which is part, so it will be always be greater than 0, it is always a positive number. So if I say this is always a positive number, this should also be a positive number. So I can write 3 minus 3 to the power 4x should be greater than 0. 3 minus 3 to the power 4x should be greater than 0. I can take this to the right hand side, so thus this will become 3 greater than 3 to the power 4x. So this is 1, and now I can take log to the base 3 both sides. So log 3 base 3 3 is greater than log base 3 3 to the power 4x. Thus I can write 4x is less than 1, or 1 is greater than 4x, or I can write x is less than 1 by 4, or x is less than 0.25. Thus the value of x will be in the range of from minus infinity to 0.25. Minus infinity to 0.25, this will be the range of x, and therefore I can say option C, minus infinity to 0.25 is the possible value. In this question it is given the set of all possible values of fx for which 81 to the power x plus 81 to the power f of x is equal to 3. So 81 can be written as 3 to the power 4. So 3 to the power 4x plus 3 to the power 4 fx should be equal to 3, or I can write 3 to the power 4 x should be equal to 3 minus 3 to the power 4 of fx, 4 into fx. Now 3 to the power 4x, or which is equal to 81 to the power x, this should be greater than 0, because any number which is part is always greater than 0. Thus if this is greater than 0, so this should also be greater than 0. So thus I can write 3 minus 3 to the power 4 of 3 to the power 4 into fx should be greater than 0. So 3 is greater than 3 to the power 4 into fx. I can write this from here. I can take log base 3 both sides. So taking log both sides to the base 3 is greater than log base 3 3 to the power 4 fx. This will become 1 greater than 4 of fx, 4 into fx, and therefore fx to be less than 1 by 4. Fx is always less than 1 by 4. This means that fx will belong to the range of minus infinity to 0.25. Fx will belong to the range of minus infinity to 0.25, and therefore option C, minus infinity to 0.25 is the correct answer. The value of k for which the following lengths x minus y minus 1 equal to 0, 2x plus 3y minus 12 equal to 0, and 2x minus 3y plus k are concurrent is. So concurrent means the three lines are meeting at a single point. So what we will do, we know the equation of equation 1 and equation 2, which is x minus y is equal to 1 and 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. What we will do, we will solve this one. We will solve these two equations to get the value of x and y. And after getting the value of x and y, I will put that in this equation, because ultimately all of them are concurrent. So there is this x comma y, which is the meeting point of first two lines. It should be basically this point, which is whatever the x comma y value is, always lie on this line as well, because it is concurrent. So thus if I have to solve this now, solving this, multiplying the first equation by 3, this will become 3x minus 3y is equal to 3 and 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. So thus I can write, I can just add 1 and 2 equation, add equation 1 and 2, I'll get 5x is equal to 15 or x is equal to 3. X is equal to 3, if I put this in equation x is equal to 3, I'll get y is equal to 2. I'll get y is equal to 2. So x is equal to 3, y is equal to 2. I'm left with the equation 2x minus 3y plus k equal to 0. Now since the meeting point of these two lines is 3 comma 2, so if this is my third line, which is 2x minus 3y plus k equal to 0, this will also pass through this point 3 comma 2 because it is a concurrent line. So thus I can write 2x minus 3y plus k is equal to 0. So 2 into 3 minus 3 into 2 plus k should be 0. So 2 3 is 6, 6 and 3 to the 6. So this goes 0. This cancels out, and thus k comes out to be 0. And therefore I can say the value of k will be 0, and thus option C is the correct answer. The curve represented by the equation. So this is an equation, and we have to say what is this curve representing. So if I see an ellipse equation is x square by a square plus y square by b square should be equal to 1. So either it can be a ellipse or hyperbola. We'll check later whether it is foci on the x-axis or on the y-axis. So if I'm saying x square upon a square plus y square upon b square, this term should be positive, which is sine of root 2 minus sine of root 3 and cos root 2 minus cos root 3. This should be positive because a square is always a positive term and b square will always be a positive term. So first of all, root 2 and root 3, these values are in radians. So we have to convert them into degree. Now we have pi radian equal to 180 degrees. So 1 radian, which is pi is value of pi is 3.14. So 1 radian will be 180 divided by pi, or I can say 57.1 degrees. Roughly around 1 radian is 57.1 degrees. So root 2 radians will be root 2 into 57 degrees, and root 2 value is 1.414. So 1.414 into 57, this value will roughly come out to be 80.99 degrees. So root 2 is 80.99 degrees. Similarly, root 3 radians will be root 3 into 57, and root 3 is 1.732, and this value will come out to be 99.2 degrees. So this is 80.99 degrees, and second one is 99.2 degrees. So what I'll do, I'll change, instead of root 2 I'll write 80.99, and instead of root 3 I'll write 99.2. So thus the equation will become x square upon sine of 80.99, or I'll just roughly say this is 81 degrees, sine of 81 degrees minus sine of 99.2 degree plus y square upon cos of 81 degrees minus cos of 99.2 degrees. Now we need to, then this is equal to 1. Now if we see, if this is the quadrant table, so in first quadrant everything is positive, so sine will be positive and cos will be positive as well. Sin theta is positive, cos theta is positive. But in second quadrant, sin theta is equal to positive, but cos theta is negative. So in sin theta, this is positive in first quadrant, and cos theta is also positive in first quadrant. So if I solve this one now, sin 81 will be a positive value, and sin 99.2 will also be a positive value. Sin 99.2 will also be a positive value, and sin 99.2 can be written as sine of pi minus 80.8 degrees, pi minus 80.8 degrees, so sine of 80.8. This will also be equal to, this can also be said that sine of 80.8. So this is sine of 81 degree, which is positive, and sine 99.2 can also be written as sine of 80.8 degrees, and this is also positive. And sine is an increasing function in from 0 to pi by 2. So I'll definitely say that sine of 81 degrees will be greater than sine of 80.8 degrees. Or I can say sine of 99.2 degrees. So if sine 81 is greater than sine 99.2, I can definitely say that this term is my positive term. This is basically a positive term. Now I have to check for cos 81 minus cos of 99.2. So first of all, cos of 81 will be positive. Cos of 81 will be positive, and cos of 99.2 will be negative. Let's say cos of 81 is some positive number, which is k, and cos of 99.2 is some negative number, which is minus l. So cos 81 minus cos of 99.2 will be equal to cos 81 is k minus cos 99.2 is minus L. So k minus minus L, this will be equal to k plus L. So this term, because since we assume that k and L are positive terms, because that's why only we took k as positive and L as positive, then only cos 99.2 will be negative. So k and L both are positive, so even I can say this value will always be positive as well. So thus if both the values are positive, which is sin 81.2 minus 99.2, this is also positive and this is also positive. So thus I can definitely say that both are positive. So we can have the equation of this kind, which is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equal to 1. Now whichever value is more, which is either if a is greater than b, then the foci is on the x-axis, and if a is less than b, the foci is on y-axis. If this is the equation, if a is greater than b, foci is on x-axis, and if a is less than b, foci is on y-axis. If I look at this value, which is sin 81 and this is sin 99.2, can be written as, this is sin 99.2 can be written as sin of 180 degrees. I'll just write this 180 degrees instead of pi. Sin of 180 degrees minus 80.8. So this is sin 80.8 and this is sin 81 degrees. Now these two values will be very close. So this value will be nearly equal to 0. This value sin 81 minus sin 99.2, basically sin 99.2 can be written as sin 80.8. So sin 81 minus sin 80.8 will be very close to each other. Sin 81 and sin 80.8 will be very close to each other, and thus this value will be nearly something around 0.1 or roughly tending to 0 only. So this will be equal to 0. Now cos 81 plus some value as well. So this value is k plus L. So I can definitely say that if cos 81 is, so whatever is cos 81, let's say this value is 0.1. Let's say cos 81 is 0.1 because cos 90 is 0. Let's assume that cos 81 is 0.1 or 0.15. Now cos 99.2 can also be written as cos of 80.08, similar to this, because I can write this as cos of 180 minus 80.8, which is equal to cos 80.8 and minus cos 80.8. So this will become positive. So thus cos 81 plus cos 80.8, this value will be definitely more than this one. This value will be definitely more than this one. That is, my b square will definitely greater than a square, or I can say my b will be greater than a, because in this part, in the y square part, in the if I am considering the b part, this value is will always be more, because the two terms are added up. Roughly the two terms are added up, because this value will come out to be negative. So negative become positive, and this is positive. So this is positive plus positive. This part is basically positive minus positive. So this will definitely reduce. So this value a square will be less than b square, or I can say b is greater than a, or thus I can say if b is greater than a, then foci will be always on the y-axis, and therefore I can say it is an ellipse. This equation is an ellipse with foci on the y-axis, and therefore option A is the correct answer. The next question is saying let a is equal to 1, 2, 3 and b is equal to a, b. Assuming all relations from set A to B are equally likely, what is the probability that a relation from A to B is also a function? So if A has m elements, and B has n elements, then one thing which we can definitely say is number of relations is given by the formula, total number of relations is given by the formula 2 to the power m into n. The number of relations are given by the formula 2 to the power m into n, and number of functions are given by the formula n to the power m. Number of functions are given by the formula n to the power m. Basically what we have to find out, probability that a relation from A to B is also a function. So this is my total outcomes. 2 to the power m n will be my total outcomes, and n to the power m will be my favorable outcomes. Now in this case, A has m elements, so A has 3 elements, so m is equal to 3, and B has 2 elements, so n is equal to 2. Thus my total outcome, which is total number of relations, so total number of relations is 2 to the power 2 into 3, or 2 to the power 6, or this is equal to 64. Now my favorable outcomes is the number of functions, and number of functions given by the formula n to the power m. So n to the power m will be 2 to the power 3, which is equal to 8. Thus my probability will be favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. The favorable outcomes is 8 and total outcomes is 64. So 8 divided by 64, and thus I can say probability will be 1 by 8. Probability will be 1 by 8, and therefore the correct answer will be option B, which is 1 by 8. The next question is saying, in a 400-meter race, Ashok beats Bipin and Chandan respectively by 15 seconds and 25 seconds. So this is a 400-meter race. Ashok beats Bipin and Chandan respectively by 15 seconds and 25 seconds. This means that if Ashok is taking t seconds to complete the 400-meter distance, Bipin will take t plus 15 seconds, because Ashok is beating Bipin by 15 seconds and Chandan will take t plus 25 seconds. Chandan will take t plus 25 seconds. Why? Because Ashok is beating Chandan by 25 seconds. If Ashok beats Bipin by 150 meters, so if I say this is my 400-meter distance and Ashok and Bipin both are starting at the same distance, and this is my 400-meter distance. So by the time Ashok reaches the final point, which is the winning point or finishing point, Ashok beats Bipin by 150 meters, means Bipin is 150 meters behind. So Bipin is somewhere here. So when Ashok has completed the race, Bipin is somewhere here, that is, this distance is 150 meters. I'll assume the speed of Ashok is A, or let me just, speed of Ashok is A, speed of Bipin is B, and speed of Chandan is C. These all are speeds. These all are speeds. The speed of Ashok is A, for Bipin it is B, and Chandan it is C. Now, if I say in the time Ashok is covering this entire 400 meter, Bipin is covering only this much distance, which is 250 meters. So in the same time where Ashok is covering the entire 400 meter, Bipin is only covering 250 meters. So they are taking same amount of time, but the distance covered by Ashok is 400 and the distance covered by Bipin is 250. Now I can use the formula distance upon speed, and I can equate both of them. So for Ashok, distance upon speed will be, distance is 400 meter and speed is a meter per second, so a. For Bipin it is 250 meter distance and he is traveling at speed of b meter per second, so 250 upon b. Now both of the times are same, because in the time when Ashok is covering 400 meter, Bipin is only covering 250 meters. So I can equate this one. I can write 400 upon a is equal to 250 upon b, and thus I can write a upon b is equals to 8 upon 5. From here I can write a, I can assume as 8k, because a is to b is 8 is to 5, so a is equal to 8k and b is equal to 5k. So a is 8k, b is 5k. Now a is taking t seconds to cover the total distance, and b is taking t plus 15 seconds to cover this total 400 meter distance. So I can write distance is equal to speed into time, so 8k into t is equal to 400, and similarly 5k into t plus 15, this is also 400. I can just equate these two values now, because both of the right hand side are equal. So I can write 8k into t should be equal to 5k into t plus 50. This k and k get cancelled, and 8t is equal to 5t plus 75. So 3t is equal to 75 and t is equal to 25. 3t is equal to 75 and t is equal to 25. Thus A will complete the race in 25 seconds. B will complete the race in 40 seconds, which is t plus 15, which is 40 seconds, and C will complete the race in 50 seconds. So C will complete the race in 50 seconds. Now if I assume if speed of B is small b and speed of C is small c, the speed of B is b meter per second and speed of C is c meter per second. They both are covering 400 meter distance. So in 40 seconds at speed B, Bipin will complete 400 meters. So I can write B into 40 is equal to 400. Similarly with speed C, Chandan can complete 400 meters in 50 seconds. So C into 50 is equal to 400 meters. Again, both the right hand sides are same. So I can write B into 40 is equal to C into 50. Or I can write B upon C is equal to 50 upon 40. 50 upon 40. Now I can multiply both the numerator and denominator by 8. So here I can write B upon C is equal to 400 by 320. and this further solving I can take B this side and 320 to the above. So 320 by C is equal to 400 by B. So what does this mean? Similar to this equation, which is 400 by A is equal to 250 by B, in the time when B will cover the entire 400 meter, let's say this is the case, and B and C are starting from the same point. When B will reach at the finishing point, which is when he will cover the entire 400 meter distance, C will reach somewhere here. C will reach somewhere here means he has covered only 320 meters. So this is the distance which is covered by C. And the entire distance covered by B is 400 meters. So entire distance covered by B is 400 meters and C has only covered 320 meters. So I can say B has defeated C by 80 meters. Because B is ahead of C by 80 meters. So if B has reached the finishing line, C is at 80 meters behind. Thus I can say, which was our question, that by how many meters Bipin beat Chandan in the race. So it is by 80 meters Bipin will beat Chandan in the race, and therefore option B 80 is the correct answer. The next question is saying the sum of squares of all the roots of the equation x square plus mod of x plus 4 plus mod of x minus 4 minus 35 is equal to 0. So we have to check three ranges, which is x less than minus 4, then x from minus 4 to 4, and then x greater than equal to 4. So for x less than minus 4, both of these mods will be negative. Both of the mods will be negative. So thus I can write x square minus x plus 4 minus x minus 4 minus 35 is equal to 0. Solving this further will give me x square minus x minus 4 minus x plus 4 minus 35 is equal to 0. This 4 and 4 get cancelled, and thus I will be left with x square minus 2x minus 35 is equal to 0. This can be factorized as minus 7x plus 5x. So this will become x minus 7 into x plus 5 is equal to 0, and thus there are two roots, which is either x is equal to minus 5 or x is equal to 7. Now I have assumed that x is less than minus 4. This is my case 1. I have assumed x is less than minus 4, so I can definitely remove this value, and thus x is equal to minus 5 is one of my solutions. So x is equal to minus 5 is one of my solution. Now case 2 is when x is greater than equal to minus 4 but less than 4. So here what will happen, this one will be positive but this will still remain negative. So therefore this I can write x square plus x plus 4 minus of x minus 4 minus 35 is equal to 0. The x and x get cancelled, and this 4 plus 4 will become 8, and 8 minus 35 is minus 25. So minus 27. So x square minus 27 is equal to 0, or I can write x square is equal to 27, and thus either x is equal to 3 root 3 or x is equal to minus 3 root 3. Now root 3 is 1.7, roughly around 1.7. So 3 root 3 will be 5.1 and minus 3 root 3 will be minus 5.1. Now I have assumed that x is greater than equal to minus 4 but less than 4, and both of these values 5.1 and minus 5.1 are out of the range of minus 4 to 4. Thus both of them cannot be the solution. Since minus 5.1 and 5.1 all are outside the range of minus 4 to 4, thus both of them cannot be the solution. Now case 3 is when x is greater than equal to 4. Every mod will be positive, and therefore I can write x square plus f of x plus 4 plus x minus 4 minus 35 is equal to 0. This will be x square plus 2x minus 35 is equal to 0. Again this can be factorized to plus 7x and minus 5x. So this will be x plus 7 into x minus 5 is equal to 0, and thus there will be two solutions, either x is equal to 5 or x is equal to minus 7. But since we have clearly assumed that x is greater than equal to 4, I can remove x is equal to minus 7 and only x is equal to 5 will be my solution. So one solution was x is equal to minus 5 and other solution was x is equal to 5. These are the only two equations. It is asking for the sum of the squares of all the roots of the equation. So sum of the square will be 25 plus 25, which is equal to 50. Sum of squares of all the roots of the equation are plus and minus 5. So sum of squares will be 25 and minus 5 will also be 25. So 25 plus 25, which is 50, and therefore option C 50 is the correct answer. The next question is saying if f of x square plus fy is equal to x into fx plus y for all non-negative integers x and y, then the value of f of 0 ka whole square plus f of 0 is equal to. So if I put x is equal to 0, because x and y are non-negative integers, so x and y can be 0 as well. So f of 0 ka whole square plus f of y is equal to 0 into f of 0 plus y. Now 0 into f of 0, this is 0, this 0 square is 0, so thus I can write f of y is equal to y. Whenever you see this kind of equation, the only solution for this equation is f of y should be equal to y, because then only it is possible that f of y is also y, because now if you put the value of f of y is equal to y, what you are ultimately getting will be this thing only, which is f of y is equal to y. So this will hold true for all of the values, hold true for all values. So this will hold true for all values. So thus my equation which holds true is f of y is equal to y. If I put y is equal to 0 now, if I put y is equal to 0, I can say f of 0 is equal to 0. Thus the question which is asking is, f of 0 ka whole square plus f of 0. This will be f of 0 ka whole square plus f of 0. This will be equal to f of 0 ka whole square is again 0 square plus 0. So this will come out to be 0 only. This will come out to be 0 only, and therefore I can say option A, 0 will be the correct answer. Next question is given: the set of real values of x for which the inequality log 8 to the base 27 is less than equal to log x to the base 3 is less than log 9 to the power 1 of log 3 base 2. Okay, so first of all we should know some property which is A, and let's say this is C, A to the power B, and this is D. So if log of base C to the power T, A to the power of B, this can be written as B upon D log A to the base C. Similarly, log A to the base B can be written as 1 upon log B to the base A, and one more property which should be known as A to the power log Bx can be written as x to the power log B of A. This both can be interchanged. So these three properties should be known for this question. Now log 27 to the base 8 can be written as log 2 cube, and 27 can be written as 3 cube. This is less than equal to log x to the base 3, and this is less than log 1 upon log 3 to the base 2 can be written as log 2 to the base 3. So log 2 to the base 3, this can be written as, this power 1 upon log 3 to the base 2 can be written as log 2 to the base 3. Now we have log 2 to the base 3. A and B, using this property, this will come out as 3 upon 3 into log 2 to the base 3 less than equal to log x to the base 3, and less than, again we can switch these powers using the third property. We can switch the powers. This becomes log 9 to the base 3, and 9 can be written as 3 square. So 9 is equal to 3 square. So this will be 3 and 3 get cancelled. So log 2 to the base 3 is less than equal to log x to the base 3, and is less than 3 square is 9. So this will be 3 square, and this square will come out. So this will be 2 to the power 2, which is 4. So there will be two solutions for this, not two solutions, two equations need to be solved, which is log 2 to the base 3 is less than equal to log x to the base 3. I can remove the log base 3 part common, and thus I can say x is greater than equal to 2. This can be written as 2 less than equal to x, or x is greater than equal to 2. Second equation to be solved will be this one. First was this one, which is this, and second will be this one, which is here. So this is log x to the base 3 is less than 2 square is 4. Again log a to the base b is less than c, then a is less than b to the power c. This is also one more property which should be known. So thus I can write x should be less than 3 to the power 4, and thus x should be less than 81. Now x is greater than equal to 2 and x is less than 81. The combined solution will be roughly around x belongs to greater than equal to 2 but less than 81, and 81 is not included. So x belongs to 2 comma 81, from 2 to 81, where 81 is not included, and therefore option A 2 comma 81 will be the correct answer, and option C won't be the answer because in this 81 is included. The next question is saying a set of all possible values of the function fx is equal to x mod x where x is not equal to 0 takes this. So we have to find what are the possible values of fx. Now fx is equal to x upon mod x. Now there are only two cases possible, either x can be less than 0 or x can be greater than 0. So when x is greater than 0, what will happen? Mod x is equal to x, and therefore my f of x will become x upon x, which is equal to 1. So one such value for all x greater than 0, the value will be always 1. Now whenever x is less than 0, mod x is written as minus of x. Mod x is written as minus x, and thus fx will become x upon minus x, and this is equal to minus 1. So thus for all value of x less than 0, the value of fx will be minus 1. And for all value of fx greater than 0, the value of fx will be 1. For x greater than 0, it will be plus 1. For x less than 0, it will be minus 1. So this will be in the range of, the only two possible values are, there are only two possible values, which is either plus 1 or minus 1. These are the only two possible values of fx, either plus 1 or minus 1, and therefore option B, plus 1 comma minus 1 will be the correct answer. The next question is saying, in a bowl containing 60 ml orange juice, 40 ml of water is poured. Thereafter 100 ml of apple juice is poured to make a fruit punch. Madhu drinks 50 ml of this fruit punch and comments that the proportion of orange juice needs to be higher for better taste. How much orange juice should be poured into the fruit punch that remain in order to bring up the level of orange juice to 50%? So we have initially 60 ml of orange juice. So orange we have initially 60 ml. Then we have 40 ml of water. So water we have 40 ml. And we have added 100 ml of apple juice to this fruit punch. So apple is nearly 100 ml. So if we now see, this total solution is 200 ml, and orange is to water is to apple, orange is to water is to apple. The ratio in this is basically 3 is to 2 is to 5. 60 is to 40 is to 100, or 3 is to 2 is to 5. So 200 ml, which contains orange, water and apple in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 5. It is given that Madhu drinks 50 ml of this fruit punch and comments the proportion of orange juice need to be higher. So 50 ml of this solution is being removed. So if I say 50 ml of this solution is removed, now orange is to water is to apple is 3 is to 2 is to 5. So if I can say orange is 3 by 10th of overall, whatever the total concentration is n, let's say, water is 2 by 10 of n, and apple is 5 by 10 of n. Now if I say the total juice which is being drunk is 50 ml, so this basically this n is here 50 now. N is equal to 50 because 50 ml of the solution is being removed, or it is being drunk by Madhu. So thus I can say orange will be 3 by 10 into 50, which is equal to 15 ml. Similarly, water will be 2 by 10 into 50, which will be 10 ml, and apple will be 5 by 10 into 50, which is 25 ml. So thus 15 ml of orange, 10 ml of water and 25 ml of apple is being removed. So I can write here, from this orange 15 is removed, so this is 45 ml. Then from this orange, so this is 15 removed. Then this is 10 ml removed. From water, so now this is 30 ml. And from this 100, 25 ml is removed. 25 ml is removed, so this is 75 ml. Now we have this concentration, which is 45 plus 30 plus 75, which is 150 ml. So initially was 200 ml, 50 ml Madhu drinks. So now we are left with 150 ml. Now it is given that how much, it is asking for how much orange should be poured into the fruit punch that remain in order to bring up the orange juice to 50%. So we have orange as 45 ml, water as 30 ml, and apple as 75 ml. I want to add some orange juice so that the concentration of orange juice becomes 50%. So let's say I have added some solution which is x ml. I have added x ml to the solution. So what it is becoming now, I want percentage of orange to be 50%. So this means that 45 plus x, and now my total volume will be what? It will be 150 plus x, because I have added x ml of orange juice. So my total volume will be 150 plus x. So now I want 50%. So this will be 45 plus x divided by 150 plus x. Total orange juice divided by total juice multiplied by 100, because we need the percentage. This should be equal to 50. Thus 45 plus x divided by 150 plus x should be equal to 1 by 2, or I can write 90 plus 2x should be equal to 150 plus x, or I can write x is equal to 60 ml. Thus if I add 60 ml of the orange juice in the final juice, I will get 50% concentration of orange juice in the final fruit punch, and therefore we need to add 60 ml, and thus option D is the correct answer. Next question is saying, suppose A, B and C are integers such that A greater than B greater than C greater than 0. So A, B, C are positive, and A is greater than B greater than C. And A is equal to this, which is ABC, BCA and CAB. Then the value of determinant of A is, so determinant of A will be determinant of ABC, BCA and CAB.
So I'll use the formula of we use for calculating the determinant. So this is, I'll take this A first and I'll cross multiply these two. So this will be A into BC minus A square. Then I'll take the second one, so minus B, and I'll cross multiply these two now. So this will be equal to minus B into B square minus AC, plus now I'll take this one, which is C, so plus C into, and I'll cross multiply these two now, C into AB minus C square. Solving this will give me ABC minus A cube minus B cube plus ABC minus C cube. So this will be simplified to determinant of A will be equal to 3ABC minus A cube plus B cube plus C cube. So 3ABC minus A cube plus B cube plus C cube. Now I know AM greater than equal to GM and A, B, C are positive quantities, so I can apply this formula. So AM greater than equal to GM, so I can write A cube plus B cube plus C cube divided by 3 should be greater than equal to cube root of A cube into B cube into C cube. This will be simplified to A cube plus B cube plus C cube greater than equal to, this 3 goes to the right hand side, and cube root of A cube into B cube into C cube will be A into B into C, and since 3 goes to the right hand side, this will be equal to 3ABC. Now I'll take this entire thing to the left hand side. So this will become 3ABC minus A cube plus B cube plus C cube to be less than equal to 0. To be less than equal to 0. If I take this entire thing to the right hand side, so this will become minus of A cube plus B cube plus C cube, and 3ABC minus A cube minus B cube minus C cube will be less than equal to 0. Now when it will be 0? When A is equal to B is equal to C. When A, B, C are equal, then this value will be 0. But it is clearly given that A is greater than B, greater than C and greater than 0. So this I can say that A, B and C are distinct values. A, B and C are distinct values, with A being the highest and C being the lowest. So thus I can say this value will be 3ABC minus A cube plus B cube plus C cube will be less than 0. It can never be equal to 0 because it needs A equal to B equal to C for being equal to 0. So thus 3ABC minus A cube minus B cube minus C cube will be less than 0. Now this is our determinant, which is this part, which is 3ABC minus A cube plus B cube plus C cube, and I clearly derived that this is less than 0. So thus I can say the determinant of A will be less than 0. Determinant of A will be less than 0, and therefore I can write the value of determinant of A is negative, which is less than 0. The next question is saying let A and B be two sets such that Cartesian product of A cross B consists of 4 elements. So A cross B, n of A cross B has 4 elements. Now there are two possible cases, which is set A has 1 element, set B has 4 elements, or I can write set A has 4 elements and set B has 1 element. Set A has 4 or set B has 1, or set B has 1 and set A has 4. This is the first possible condition, first possible scenario. Second can be both of the set has 2 equal elements, n of A is equal to 2 if n of B is equal to 2. Now these are the only two possible, because n A cross B is number of elements of A cross B is number of elements in A multiplied by number of elements in B. Now sets consists of 4 elements. If 2 elements of A cross B are 1, 4 and 4, 1. So 2 elements of A cross B are 1, 4 and 4, 1. So these are the 2 elements. There are 2 more elements in this, but the 2 of these elements are 1, 4 and 4, 1. Now looking at this 1 and looking at this 4, I can definitely say that in A there are 2 elements. In A there are 2 elements, because this 1 is there and this 4 is there. A cross B is there. So the first element will be coming from A and the second will be coming from B. So in A there is 1, from A there is 1, 4 and 4, 1. So 1 and 4 are coming from A. So thus I can say it is not possible that NA has 1, even in the second case, which is this 4 and this 1. So these are coming from B. The 4 in 1, 4 and 1 in 4, 1 is coming from B. So thus I can say B also has 2 elements. So this case is also not possible. And this is the only possible case, that is when n of A is equal to 2 and n of B is equal to 2. That is number of elements in A and B are 2. Now there is one element which is 1, in A cross B, the first element is either 1 or 4. So thus I can say elements of A will be 1, 4. Similarly in B also we can see there are 2 elements. We have already derived that there will be 2 elements only, NA equal to 2 and NB equal to 2. two elements in both the sets. Now in the two elements are already given to us. This is 4 and 1. Like in 1 comma 4, this is coming from B. In 4 comma 1, the next element is coming from B, because it is A cross B. So first element is coming from A and the second is coming from B. So thus I can say B will be equal to 4 comma 1. Now the order doesn't matter in sets A, and in the set it is basically A is equal to B. Set A is equal to set B because both the elements of the set are equal. Both of the elements have A has 1 comma 4 and B has 1 comma 4 comma 1. Both the sets contain same elements, which is 1 and 4, and there are two equal elements in it. So thus I can write A is equal to B. And when this is the case, we can clearly write that A cross B should be equal to B cross A. A cross B should be equal to B cross A. I can prove this to you. A cross B will be 1 comma 4, 1 comma 1, 4 comma 4 and 4 comma 1. This will be A cross B. Now B cross A will be 4 comma 1, first element from B now and second from A. So 4 comma 1, then 4 comma 4, then 1 comma 1 and then 1 comma 4. Now if you see in this both the sets, which is A cross B and B cross A, there is 1 comma 4, 1 comma 4 in both the sets. 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1 both the sets. 4 comma 4, 4 comma 4 both the sets, and 4 comma 1 and 4 comma 1 in both the sets. So thus these two sets are equal. These two sets are equal, and therefore I can say A cross B is equal to B cross A, and thus option B, which is A cross B is equal to B cross A, is the correct answer. The next question is saying if the 5-digit number A, B, C, D, E is divisible by 6, then which of the following numbers is not necessarily divisible by 6? So A, B, C, D is divisible by 6. The condition for divisibility by 6 is it should be divisible by 2 and it should be divisible by 3. Now the number will be divisible by 2 when it is an even number. When it is an even number, and number will be divisible by 3 when sum of digits is divisible by 3. Now even number criteria is unit digit should be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now if I am saying A, B, C, D, E is divisible by 6, A, B, C, D, E is basically divisible by 6, what does it mean? That either E is equal to 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, and E is equal to 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8, and A plus B plus C plus D plus E is equal to 3 times of K. Basically A plus B plus C plus D plus E is a multiple of 3 and K is some constant value. K is some constant natural number. So sum of digits, which is A plus B plus C plus D plus E, is a multiple of 3, and E is a even number, which is even digit, which is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Now we need to check which all are possible for being divisible by 6. Let's first see option A, which is EEE. So A is given EEE. Now as I said, divisible by 6 needs divisibility by 2 and divisibility by 3. Now E is a number which is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I can clearly say if E is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, this is divisible by 2. This is divisible by 2. Now sum of digits will be what? Sum of digits will be E plus E plus E, which is equal to 3, and this is divisible by 3. Sum of digits is divisible by 3, so I can say EEE is basically divisible by 6. Let's look at option B, which is EDCBA. So EDCBA. Now we don't know about A. We know about E, that E is an even digit number, but we have no idea about A. So A has two possibilities. Either it can be divisible by 2 or it is not divisible by 2. Depends on what A is. If A is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then A will be divisible by 2. But if A is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, then A will not be divisible by 2 because it is an odd number. So there is no surety. There is no surety whether this is divisible by 2 or not. But A plus, again sum of digits will be A plus B plus C plus D plus E. So I can say this will be divisible by 3. This will be divisible by 3 because A plus B plus C plus D plus E is 3K. So 3K will be divisible by 3. So I can say it is divisible by 3, but it is not divisible by 2, and thus I cannot definitely say that this will be divisible by 6. Let's look at third option, which is CDBAE. So C is saying CDBAE. Now unit digit is E, and E is what? E can be either 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, and thus this will be divisible by 2. Because we clearly know that E is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. So E will be divisible by 2. Now sum of digits will be what? Sum of digits will be C plus D plus b plus a plus e. This value is again a plus b plus c plus d plus e, which is 3k as assumed, and this is divisible by 3. So thus I can say this is divisible by 6. If it is divisible by 2 and 3 both, so it is divisible by 6. So I can write C D B A E is divisible by 6. Then we have B B A D C A C E D E. Option D is B B A D C A C E and A D C A C E D E. Now again, unit digit is what? Unit digit is E. For divisibility by 2, we have to just check the unit digit. Unit digit is either 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, and this is divisible by 2. So I can say this is this entire number is divisible by 2. Now sum of digits will be what? 2b plus a. 2a I can see there is 2b. I'll write it here. The sum of digits is 2b. Then we have 2a, which is 2a. Now we have 2d. So 2d plus we have 2c plus we have 2e. So this is my total sum of digits. This is the total sum of digits. This can be written as 2 times of a plus b plus c plus d plus e. This 2b plus 2a plus 2d plus 2c plus 2e can be written as 2 times a plus b plus c plus d plus e. And this is 3k. So this can be written as 2 into 3k or 6k. Now if k is any constant number, 6k will always be divisible by 3 because it has 6, so 6 divided by 3 will be 2, and thus 6k will always be divisible by 3. So this number is divisible by 2, this number is divisible by 3, so I can again say that this will be divisible by 6. It is divisible by 2 and 3 both, thus divisible by 6. So this number is also definitely divisible by 6, and therefore option B, EDCBA can be or cannot be divisible by 6. It is asking for not necessarily divisible by 6, so it will be EDCB and A. The next question is saying the cost of a piece of a jewelry is proportional to the square of its weight. So cost is directly proportional to the square of weight. Let's say cost is C and weight is W. So cost is directly proportional to square of weight, and thus I can write it C is equal to K into W square, where K is some constant number. A piece of jewelry weighing 10 grams is INR 3600. The cost of piece of jewelry of 10 grams is INR 3600. So I can write the cost is 3600 K into when the weighing is 10 grams. So K into 10 square. So thus I can write 3600 is equals to 100 into K, or I can write K is equals to 36. 3600 is equal to 100 into K and K is equal to 36. So thus I can write C is equal to 36 into W square. C is equal to 36 into W square. Now it is asking for the cost of a piece of jewelry of the same kind weighing 4 grams. So now the weight is 4 grams. Weight is 4 grams. I have to find out the cost. So what I'll do, I'll put the value of W is equal to 4 in this equation. So thus C is equal to 36 into W is 4. So 36 into 4 square, which is 36 into 16, and thus cost will be 36 into 16 is 576. So the cost of 4 gram weight will be 4 gram jewelry will be 576 rupees, and therefore option D INR 576 is the correct answer. The next question is given, if A is a square matrix which has element 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0, then A to the power 2, 0, 2, 2 will be. So if A is this, I need to first find out what is A square. So A square will be 1, 0, 1 by 2 into 0 multiplied by 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0. So now we'll do the matrix multiplication, row 1 multiplied by column 1, row 2 multiplied by column 1, then row 2 multiplied by column 1 and row 2 multiplied by column 2. So A square will be equal to 1 into 1 and 0 into 1 by 2, this is 1. Then 1 into 0, 0 into 0 is 0. 1 by 2 into 1 and 0 into 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. And 1 by 2 into 0 and 0 into 0 is 0. So A square is 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0. And this is equal to A only. 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0, this is equal to A. So A square is equal to A. Now if we find out A cube can be written as A square into A. A cube can be written as A square into A. What is A square? A square is A. So this can be written as, instead of A square I can write A. So A into A, and A into A will be A square, and A square is what? Is again A. So thus I can write A cube will also be A. Then if I check for A to the power 4, I can write A to the power 4 as A square into A square. Now both a square and a square are a, so I can write a into a again, which will be again a square, and this will be again a. Then if I see a to the power 5, I can write this as a square into a cube. Now a square is a, so a, and a cube is again a. A cube is again a, so a into a, which is a square, and a square is again a. So thus a cube, a to the power 5 is also a. So a cube is a to the power 4 is a to the power 5 is a, and this pattern will continue. This pattern will continue. And all the powers of a, any power of a to the power anything, will be equal to a only. So any power of a will be equal to a, and if I am asking about 2022nd power of a, it will be again equal to a only. This will be again equal to a, or this will be, I can write a to the power 2022 will be 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0. Now if I check the options, there is no option which is saying this, which is 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0, and therefore option C, none of these is the correct answer. Next question is asking if one of the factors of the number 3 to the power 7 into 2 to the power 8 into 7 to the power 3 is randomly chosen, then the probability that the chosen factor will be a perfect square is. So number is 3 to the power 7 into 2 to the power 8 into 17 to the power 3. Now first of all, if in order to find the probability, we need total outcomes and favorable outcomes. Now total outcomes will be all the factors, all factors, and favorable outcomes will be factors which are perfect square, factors which are perfect square. So this will be favorable outcomes, this will be total outcomes. Now if I see what are the total outcomes, I have to consider all the factors, and if the number is of the form, let's say n is equal to a to the power p into b to the power q into c to the power r and so on, the number of factors is basically p plus 1 into q plus 1 into r plus 1. When there is no restriction, this will be the total number of factors. So thus total outcomes will be total factors, and which is equal to p plus 1, q plus 1 and r plus 1 product. So this is 7 plus 1 multiplied by 8 plus 1 multiplied by 3 plus 1. This is equal to 8 into 9 into 4, which is 72 into 4, which is 288. So these are my total outcomes, which is 288. Now I need my favorable outcome, which is chosen factor will be a perfect square. So if I write this again, it is n is equal to 3 to the power 7 into 2 to the power 8 into 17 to the power 3. Now I need perfect square, which means I need even powers of all the prime numbers. I need even powers of 3, I need even power of 2, I need even power of 17. So what I'll do, I'll make the powers of all the prime numbers in n as even. So what I'll do, I'll take 3 out and 17 out, because only for 3 and 17 the power of their power is an odd number. So 3 and 17 out, this will be equal to 3 to the power 6 into 2 to the power 8 into 17 ka whole square. 3 and 17 are taken out because ultimately this number is 3 to the power 7. This 3 into 3 to the power 6 is 3 to the power 7. Then 2 to the power 8, and 17 into 17 square is 17 to the power cube. So 3 to the power 6 into 2 to the power 8 into 17 square. Now I'll keep this 3 and 17 again as it is, because ultimately they are not going to contribute in my perfect square factors because the power of them is odd. 3 to the power 6 can be written as 3 square ka whole cube. 2 to the power 8 can be written as 2 square to the whole power 4, and 17 square can be as it is 17 square. Now what I'll do, I'll assume A as 3 square, I'll assume A as 3 square, B as 2 square, and C as 17 square. Why I am doing this? Because I need perfect squares. So what I need is basically I need the even power of all these three numbers, even power of all these three prime numbers. So this will be equal to n is equal to 3 into 17 into 3 square. I can write this as a cube. 2 square can be written as b, so b4, and 17 square is c, so a cube into b4 into c. Now these two won't be contributing. These two won't be contributing for a perfect square factor. So thus I can just write, in order to find out the perfect square, this number can be written as a cube into b4 into c. This is some new number m, let's say. And for perfect square, only this three factors will be contributing. Only a, b and c, a cube into b to the power 4 into c will give me the perfect square factors. So thus I'll assume another number which is m, and this another number m will be a cube into b to the power 4 into c. Now the number of factors for this one, which is our favorable outcomes, so this is equal to a cube b4c, again a to the power p into b to the power q into c to the power r. The number of factors will be 3 plus 1 multiplied by 4 plus 1 multiplied by 1 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 into 5 into 2, which is equal to 40 now. So this is my favorable outcomes. My favorable outcomes is 40. This is 40. And my total outcomes is 288. Probability is what? Probability is favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes, which is 40 divided by 288. This goes 8 times, so this will become 5 divided by 36. So this will be my probability that the chosen factor among all the factors will be a perfect square, and thus 5 by 36, which is option A, is the correct answer. The next question is saying the lengths of the side of a triangle are x, 21, and 40, where x is the shortest side, a possible value of x is. So if I say x is the shortest, if x is the shortest, then 21 is the medium length and 40 will be the longest side. And for triangle to be possible, it is given that sum of two sides should be greater than the largest side. Or I can just write the third side. Sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. It's not necessarily the largest side. It should be sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. Now, if I apply this, in this case, it will be x plus 21 should be greater than 40, and thus I can write the sum of two sides, and thus I can write x should be greater than 90. Now, this is when we took x, 21, 40, like x plus 21 greater than 40. Now, there are three cases in this. This is the first case. Second can be 21 plus 40 should be greater than x, and thus I can write x should be less than 61. 21 plus 40 should be greater than x. The sum of two sides, which is this one and this one, it should be greater than x, and thus x is less than 61. There is one more possible case, which is x plus 40, that is this side and this side, should be greater than 21, should be greater than this side, and thus from here I can write x should be greater than minus 19. Now, if I take the common area for all these three equations, if I draw it on the number line, it is minus 19, 19 and 61. First is saying x greater than 19, second is saying x less than 61, so this one, and third is saying x greater than minus 19, so this part. Now, if I see what is the common part in all three, it is this one, and thus I can write my final solution will be x greater than 19 and less than 61. Now, if x is the shortest side, x should be less than 21 also. If x is the shortest side, it should be less than 21. And thus my final values of x can be greater than 19 and less than 21, because x is the shortest side, so it should be less than 21. So x greater than 19 and less than 21, there is only one possible value of x, which is 20. There is only one possible value of x, which is 20, and therefore option D, 20 is the shortest side, which is the value of x. The next question is given: when the square of the difference of two natural numbers is subtracted from the squares of the sum of the same two numbers, the result is divided by 4, we get. Let the two numbers be a and b. A and b, these are the two numbers. So square of the difference of two natural numbers, so it will be a minus b ka whole square, which is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab, subtracted from the square of the sum of the same two numbers. So this is a plus b ka whole square, which is a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now, square of difference of two natural numbers is subtracted from square of sum of two natural numbers. So we need what? We need a plus b ka whole square minus a minus b ka whole square. This will be equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab minus a square plus b square minus 2ab. So a square get cancelled, b square get cancelled, and this will be ultimately come out to be 2ab minus of minus 2ab, which is equal to 2ab plus 2ab, which is equal to 4ab. The difference of the two natural numbers, square of difference of the two natural numbers subtracted from the square of sum of the two natural numbers, and the result, which is this 4ab, it is divided by 4. So my final value will be 4ab divided by 4, which is equal to ab. So finally what I am getting is, I am getting that it's a product of two numbers. Product of two numbers, which is my final value. If I have taken any natural numbers a and b, my final value will be, after doing all this process, will be product of two numbers. And we know that product of two numbers is basically equal to product of their HCF and LCM. product of HCF and LCM. Product of any two numbers is basically equal to product of their HCF and LCM, and thus I can write the final value is basically the product of their HCF and LCM. The final value is equal to product of their HCF and LCM, and therefore we get what we get is basically the product of LCM and HCF of the two numbers, and therefore option B is the correct answer. The next question is saying Aisha is standing atop a vertical tower 200-meter high and observes a car moving away from the tower on a straight horizontal road from the foot of the tower. At 11 am, she observes the angle of angle of depression of the car to be 45 degrees. Now, angle of depression is equal to angle of elevation. So, angle of depression for Aisha will be from the top of the building. The angle of depression will be equal to the angle of elevation from someone who is standing at the bottom. So, if I draw a rough diagram like this, let's say there is some person here at A and some person here at B. Now for him this will be the angle of depression. This will be the angle of depression. For someone standing at A looking at B, this angle will be the angle of depression. And for someone who is standing at B and looking at A, this angle will be equal to angle of elevation. This angle will be equal to angle of elevation. And since both of these lines are parallel lines, so thus I can write this angle will be equal to this angle, and thus both AOD and AOE are equal. Both angle of depression and angle of elevation are equal. So thus I can consume the angle of depression to be equal to angle of elevation. Now, further reading this, at 11:02 am, she observed the angle of depression of the car to be 30 degrees. So Aisha is somewhere standing at the top of a building, which is 100-meter high. This is 100-meter high. Aisha is standing somewhere here, and she observes the angle of depression of the car to be 45 degrees. So car is somewhere here, who is moving in this direction, which is moving in this direction, and initially the angle of depression is 45 degrees. Angle of depression is 45 degrees. So basically this angle is 45 degrees. So if this angle is 45 degrees, this angle will also be 45 degrees. Now initially at 11 am, the car is somewhere here. At 11 am, the car is here. At 11:02 am, she observed the angle of depression of the car to be 30 degrees. So at 11:02 am, that is somewhere at here. This is at 11:02 am. The angle of depression is 30 degrees. So if this angle is 30 degrees, then this angle will also be 30 degrees. So thus, she observes angle of depression at 30 degrees at 11:02 am. The speed at which the car is moving approximately. Now speed is what? Speed is basically distance upon time. So at 11 am, she is here, which is, let's say the point is B, and at 11:02 she is here, so which is C. So this is the distance which is being covered. So speed will be what? And time is from 11 am to 11:02 am. So speed will be, if I need to find out kilometer per hour, it will be equal to distance BC divided by 2 minutes, or I can write BC divided by, or just write this as BC divided by 2 minutes. This will be my speed of the car. Speed of the car will be distance BC divided by the time taken, which is 2 minutes. Now first we need to find out BC. If I say this point is O, so I can write AO upon BO, which is basically 1045. It should be equal to, so AO upon BO should be equal to 1045 degrees. This is 90. Now AO is what? AO is 100. So 100 divided by BO is 1045 is 1, and thus I can write BO is equal to 100. BO is equal to 100. So this distance is 100 meters. Now if I write AO upon CO, this should be equal to 1030 degrees. AO upon CO. So O is here, C is here. So AO divided by OC is again 1030 degrees. What is AO? AO is again 100, and CO we need to find out. 1030 is 1 by root 3. And thus I can write CO will be equal to 100 into root 3. CO will be 100 into root 3 meter. Now BO is 100 meter, which is this distance, and CO is this distance, and this distance is 100 root 3 meters. So thus I can write the distance between these 2 points, BC, will be CO minus BO, and therefore BC will be equal to what? BC will be equal to 100 into root 3 minus 1 meters. Now I need the speed in kilometers per hour, so I'll take BC is equal to 100 into root 3 minus 1 divided by 1000, and this will be kilometers. So this will be root 3 minus 1 divided by 10. So the speed can be written as, what is distance BC? BC is root 3 minus 1 divided by 10 kilometers. And what is time? Time is 2 minutes. So 2 minutes can be written as 2 by 60 hours. 2 minutes can be written as 2 by 60 hours, and thus I'll write this here, 2 by 60 hours. 0, 0 get cancelled, and this will become 2 divided by 6, which is 1 by 3, and this 3 will go up. So thus I can write speed will be equal to 3 into root 3 minus 1 in kilometers per hour, kmph. Now root 3 minus 1 is 1.732. The next question is saying Ayesha is standing atop a vertical tower 200 meter high. So height of the tower is 200 meter and observes a car moving away from the tower on a straight horizontal road from the foot of the tower. At 11 a.m. she observes the angle of depression of the car to be 45 degrees. Now what is angle of depression? This is some building. Someone is here and someone is here. So if it is A, it is B. Let's say this is my, so this is my horizontal. So this angle will be angle of depression. This angle will be angle of depression for A who is looking towards B. For B who is looking towards A, this angle is angle of elevation. From B who is looking towards A, it is angle of elevation, and for A who is looking towards B, it is angle of depression. Now since both of these lines are parallel, I can say both angle of depression and angle of elevation are equal. Both angle of depression and angle of elevation are equal. So thus I'll just rub this. I just wanted to give you the example of what is angle of depression and how angle of depression and elevation are equal. Now I'll get, it is given, it is car is moving away from the tower on a straight horizontal road from the foot of tower. So if this is my tower and Aisha is standing here, so this tower is first of all 200 meters. This tower is 200 meters, and at 11 a.m. she observes the angle of depression to be 45 degrees. So let's say this is some point here. So car at 11 a.m. is here, and the angle of depression is 45 degrees. So this angle will be 45 degree as well. Now at 11:02 a.m. she observes the angle of depression of the car to be 30 degrees. So 11:02 a.m. she'll reach somewhere here. At 11:02 a.m. she'll reach somewhere here, and now the angle of depression is 30 degrees. So if this is 30, this will also be 30 degrees. Now if this is Aisha standing here, let's say this point is O, this point is B, and this point is C. So we need to find out the speed at which the car is moving is approximately the approximate speed of car. So speed of car is basically distance upon time. So at 11 a.m. it was at B, and at 11:02 a.m. the car was at C. The speed will be equal to BC divided by time, and time here is 2 minutes. Now we need the answer in kilometers per hour. So what I'll do, I'll take time as 2 minutes, or I can take it as 2 by 60 hours, because I need kilometer per hour. So I'll take the time as 2 by 60 hour. Now we need to find out BC. Now first, this angle is 90 degree, so I can write tan 45 degree is equal to AO upon BO. AO upon BO, and this should be equal to 1, because tan 45 is 1. So I know AO is what? AO is 200, BO we need to find out, and this is equal to 1, and thus I can write BO is equal to 200 meters. So BO is equal to 200 meters, so this distance is 200 meters. Now further we have this again 90, and this angle is 30 degrees, so I can write tan 30 degrees is equal to AO upon CO, which is perpendicular upon base, which is AO upon CO, and this should be equal to 1 by root 3. Thus I can write CO will be equal to root 3 times AO. And what is AO? AO is again 200, so CO will be what? CO will be 200 root 3 meters. So this is BO, which is 200 meters, and this is CO, which is 200 root 3 meters. Now BC will be what? BC will be CO minus BO, and thus BC will be equal to 200 root 3 minus 1 meters. Or this can be changed to, I can just divide it by 1000. So this will be 200 divided by 1000 into root 3 minus 1, and this will be, BC will be root 3 minus 1 divided by 5 kilometers. If we just divide this number, which is 200 into root 3 minus 1 divided by 1000, I'll get BC as root 3 minus 1 upon 5 kilometers. So the speed will be equal to distance, which is root 3 minus 1 divided by 5, kilometers and time which is 2 by 60 hours. So 2 upon 60 hour. This will go 12 times and 2 by 12 will be 1 by 6 and the 6 will go 2 up. So speed will be equal to 6 into root 3 minus 1 kilometers per hour. Root 3 is 1.732 and 1.732 minus 1 will be 0.732 and the speed will be equal to 6 into 0.732. Multiplying this will give me 4.392 kilometers per hour. So this will be the speed of the car, which is 4.392 kilometers per hour, and therefore option B, which is 4.39 kilometers per hour, is the correct answer. Now the next question is a 5 question set. It is basically a logical reasoning set. We are given some conditions and we have to arrange those conditions. We have to, as per this condition, we have to arrange the elements and thus find the final table. So it is given a showroom is open on all 7 days of the week throughout the year. There are 5 employees: Alex, Bhaba, Kethi, Dilip and Ethan. Let's say this is A, B, C, D and Ethan is E, who work in the showroom. Every day except Sunday, 2 employees are required, while on Sunday 3 employees are required. So they are working in the entire week. So entire week has 7 days. On all 6 days there are 2 employees required, which is 12. But on Sunday there are 3 employees required, which is 3. So 12 plus 3, there are in total 15 occurrences required of all the 15 occurrences of all the 5 employees combined is required. Every employee work for 3 days in a week. So if every employee is working for 3 days in a week, the total occurrences will be 3 into 5, which is 15, because there are 5 employees. Some additional information is also provided. So A, B, C, D, E all will work for 3 times in a week, and from Monday to Saturday there will be 2 employees will be required for all 6 days, and for Sunday there will be 3 employees requirement. Every employee works on 2 consecutive days, while the third day is not consecutive. So this is our first condition, which is every employee works for 2 consecutive days and third day is not consecutive. Alex and Dilip work together on Tuesday and Wednesday, while the other working day differs for them. So I'll just write this out. I'll make the table. I'll write this is Sunday. Then we have Monday. Then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Now we have 2 employees working on Monday to Saturday and 3 employees working on Sunday. So first of all, this column will be empty for all of this, because Monday to Saturday there are only 2 employees, only on Sunday there will be 3 employees. Now it is given Alex and Dilip work together on Tuesday and Wednesday. So Alex and Dilip work together on Tuesday and Wednesday. So A and D work together on Tuesday and Wednesday, and all A, B, C, D and E, they should work for 3 days. So Alex and Dilip has already worked for 2 days. So 1, 2 and 1, 2. We'll keep a tally of each of the employees. Neither Bhaba nor Kethi works with Alex on any other day. So A cannot work with B and A cannot work with C. This is my third condition. And Kethi does not work either on Saturday or on Monday. So Kethi is not working either on Saturday, either on Monday or on Saturday. So Kethi is not working either on Saturday or on Monday. So now we have all the arrangement possible. Now let's see what all possibilities are there. So first of all, we can see C cannot work on Monday and Saturday. Now we have A cannot work with B and A cannot work with C. First of all, we need to see where C can come. So first look at where like about Monday. So in Monday, C cannot work. Kethi cannot work on Monday. And on Tuesday, A and D has already worked, and Wednesday A and D has already worked, which is Alex and Dilip has worked together on Tuesday and Wednesday. So for Monday, I can say Alex and Dilip cannot work, because then there will be 3 consecutive days, and as per condition number 1, every employee works on 2 consecutive days and the third day is not consecutive. So there will be A, D. So this will be definitely be B and E, which is Bhaba and Ethan. It will be Bhaba and Ethan. On Monday it will be B and D, because C cannot work and A and D cannot work, because then A and D will work for 3 consecutive days. So it will be B or E. So B and E has already also worked for 1 Monday. Now let's look for Kethi. So Kethi is given that it is not working on Saturday or on Monday. Now if I assume, let's say Kethi is working on this Thursday, then she has to work on Friday. Why? Because there is no any other possible cases when Kethi will be working on 2 consecutive days. Kethi should work on Thursday and Friday, because if that's not the case, let's say if it is Friday, let's say Thursday Kethi is not working on Thursday, so it will be Friday. Now it cannot work on Saturday. Kethi cannot work on Saturday, and thus she can work on Sunday. So first of all, Kethi cannot first of all have 3 days, 3 working days, and also 2 consecutive days are not possible for her because she cannot work on Saturday. So only possible cases will be Friday and Sunday. Similarly, if I say Kethi does not work on Friday and she only works on Thursday, again what will happen? She cannot work on Saturday and therefore she has to work on Sunday. Now again there will be only 2 possibilities. So thus I can definitely say that Kethi will be working on both Thursday and Friday. Kethi will be working on both Thursday and Friday as well as Sunday because she need to complete 3 shifts, and the only possible cases, since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are completely filled, and Saturday is something which is given that Kethi cannot work. So she can only work on Thursday, Friday and Sunday. So Kethi has already completed all 3 of her shifts, which is on Thursday, Friday and Sunday. Now it is clearly given that Alex cannot work with Bhaba and Kethi. Alex cannot work with Bhaba and Kethi. So in Thursday we cannot have Alex, on Friday we cannot have Alex, and on Sunday we cannot have Alex. Alex cannot work on Thursday, Friday and Sunday, and still there is 1 shift which is left for Alex. Alex has worked on Tuesday, Wednesday, and there is 1 more shift which is left. So Alex will work on Saturday because he cannot work on Thursday, Friday and Sunday because of Kethi. So Alex will work on Saturday. Now we have given that Alex and Dilip work together on Tuesday and Wednesday while the other working day differs for them. So if the other working day is differing from them, so I can write on Saturday if Alex is working, Dilip cannot work. On Saturday, if Alex is working, Dilip cannot work. On Saturday, if Alex is working, Dilip cannot work. Thus, I can write, so A, and for Dilip, for Saturday, Dilip cannot work. So on Saturday, Dilip and Kethi, both of them cannot work. Now we are left with A, we are filled with all 3, C is 3 as well, B is only 1, D is 2 and E is 1. Now let's look at Dilip now. Now Dilip cannot work on Thursday. Dilip cannot work on Thursday. Why? Because then Dilip will have 3 consecutive working days. So thus Dilip can work either on Friday or on Sunday. Dilip can work either on Friday or on Sunday because there is 1 shift left for Dilip and we have to fill it. So it can be either on Friday or on Sunday. Now, if let's say I assume Dilip is working on Friday. Let's say initial assumption is Dilip is working on Friday. This is my initial assumption, which is Dilip working on Friday. What will happen is basically now Dilip will have all 3 shifts completed, and so this Dilip will also be done with with his 3rd shift, and thus only 2 shifts for B and E, which is Bhaba and Ethan is required. 2 shifts of Bhaba and Ethan are required. Now, if I cannot put Bhaba here because A and B cannot work together, so Bhaba cannot come here. So thus Bhaba can come either on Thursday or on Sunday, and there are 2 possibilities, and we need to fill out 2 gaps for B. So B has to work on Thursday and Sunday. So what will happen? On B, Thursday, and on Sunday, B will work because there are 2 possibilities needed for B to be fulfilled. There are 2 shifts for B is left, and it can come only on Thursday and Sunday. The possible gaps were Thursday, Saturday or Sunday, but Saturday A is working, so B cannot work as per condition number 3. So thus B will be working on Thursday and Sunday. Now thus B is also finished with all the 3 shifts and only E is left. Now B is also filled with all the 3 shifts and only E is left, and the possible gaps left are Saturday and Sunday. Now it is clearly given that every employee works on 2 consecutive days while the 3rd way is not consecutive. Now if I assume the shift is for all the weeks, so what will happen? Ethan will work on Saturday, then Ethan will again work on Sunday, and then Ethan will again work on Monday. If I say for the next new week, Ethan will be working on Monday, and for the previous week, Ethan will be working on Saturday and Sunday as well. So Ethan is working for 3 consecutive days, which is Saturday, Sunday and Monday. For all 3 days, Ethan is working Saturday, Sunday and Monday. And it is clearly given that they can work on only 2 consecutive days and 3rd day cannot be consecutive. So this condition, which is I assume that D is working on Friday, and ultimately what I get is E is working on Saturday, Sunday and Monday. All 3 are consecutive. So this condition is definitely wrong. That is, D cannot work on Friday, and therefore I can say, and thus I can say D will work on Sunday only. D cannot work on Friday because Ethan will work on 3 consecutive days, which is Saturday, Sunday and Monday. D, which is Dilip, will work on Sunday. So Dilip will work here. Now again, similar condition, B cannot work with A. So the only possible cases for Now Dilip has worked on Sunday, so all 3 shifts of Dilip are done. Now only 2 shifts are left for both Baba and Ethan. For Baba and Ethan, both of them 3 shifts are left. Now again B cannot come here because A and B cannot work together. Similarly, if I say, let's say if I put again B at Thursday, now if we see for D there are 2 consecutive days, for A there are 2 consecutive days, for C there are 2 consecutive days. Similarly for B I also want 2 consecutive days. Now if I put B over here, I will need to fill B over here as well, because for B I need 2 consecutive days, and again what will happen, E will come here and E will come here, because ultimately we are left with 4 shifts, which is 2 for B and 2 for E. Now if I put B on Thursday and Friday, E will be coming on Saturday and Sunday, and again the same problem will occur, that is E, which is Saturday, E is working, Ethan is working on Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Thus I can say this assumption that B is working on Thursday and Friday is wrong. Now if I take C, and C has already worked twice, if I take B is working on Friday, what will happen? I cannot put B is working on Saturday, because B cannot work on Saturday as per condition number 3, A and B cannot work. So B cannot work on Saturday, so if B is working on Friday, then B will work on Sunday as well. If it is Thursday, Friday, for B if it is Thursday, Friday, this is not possible. If B it is Friday and Sunday, again it is not possible. For B Thursday, Friday, why it is not possible? Because it is clearly given that we have found out that E is working on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, which is 3 consecutive days. If it is B is Friday and Sunday, what is happening is basically E is not working for any 2 consecutive days. Now only case left is when B is working on Thursday and Sunday. B is working on Thursday and Sunday. This is the only case left. Now B is working here, which is Thursday and Sunday. So B is working on Thursday and Sunday. Now only 2 possible cases, only 2 possible places left for E is basically Friday and Saturday. So only 2 possible places left for E is Friday and Saturday, and therefore this will be the entire table. This will be our entire table. Why? Because we can clearly see A, B, C, D, E, both of them are working for 2 consecutive shifts. And the third shift is different. All these 4 conditions are met. Alex and Dilip are working on Tuesday and Wednesday, and the third day is different for both. Baba and Katie are not working with Alex, and Katie is not working either on Saturday or Monday. So all 3 conditions are fulfilled, and thus this is our final table. Now let's look at the questions now. Which among the following employees do not work together on any of the days? So if I see Baba and Dilip, so Baba and Dilip are working together on Sunday. Then I have Baba and Ethan, so Baba and Ethan again working on Monday. Then we have Katie and Dilip, so Katie and Dilip is working on again Sunday. So this is Sunday, Monday and Sunday. For Dilip and Ethan, I cannot see any day when Dilip and Ethan are working. So thus option D, Dilip and Ethan will be the correct answer. The next question is saying employees who work on Sunday are. So employees who are working on Sunday are C, D and B, which is Baba, Katie and Dilip. So employees working on Sunday is Katie, Dilip and Baba, which is option C, Baba, Katie and Dilip, B, C, D. The next question is saying one of the days Alex works on is. So Alex is working on Tuesday, Wednesday and Saturday. Out of these 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday and Saturday, Alex is working, and therefore one of the 3 days will be option D, which is Saturday. Monday, Sunday, Friday is not working. Then the next question is saying number of days Baba and Katie work together in a week. So Baba and Katie are working together in a week on, first of all, Sunday. Katie and Baba are working together, and then on Thursday as well, Katie and Baba are working together. So for 2 days, which is Sunday and Thursday, Baba and Katie are working together. Sunday and Thursday, Baba and Katie are working together. So option A, 2 will be the correct answer. The final question is the consecutive days on which Ethan works are. So consecutive days on which Ethan is working, it is basically this 2 Thus it is Friday and Saturday. So Ethan is consecutively working on Friday and Saturday, and therefore option A, which is Friday and Saturday, will be the correct answer on which on the 2 days on which Ethan is working together. So with this, we have discussed all the questions of IPMAT 2022. All the quants questions are discussed. We have discussed all 45 questions, which is 15 were short answer type questions in which we have to type in the answers, and the 30 were MCQ questions where we have to choose one out of all the multiple choices given to us. Now again, I would just like you to remind about the Krakus free resources,
which is being provided. We are providing IPMAT mock test free of cost. We have created roughly around more than 5 mock tests for IPMAT, and it is on the basis of last 5 years question papers. So do give these mocks, do try out these mocks. These mocks are definitely going to help you a lot. Also, we are providing guidance for all the other exams as well. That is, let's say GIPMAT or IPMAT Rohtak or IMK BMS exam, IMB UG exam, or any other exam. The Krakow is providing mock test and study room content for free of cost. So thus you can just search Krakow IPMAT mock test, and you will be redirected to the page of Krakow IPMAT mock test. There free mock tests are available. Do give these. This is going to help you a lot. And for others as well, GIPMAT and IMK BMS or Christ University exam, all of them are available. Do attempt all these mock tests. This is going to really help you a lot. And thank you so much for watching this video.